Well, hello there. Welcome to the den. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to the den. It's been so long, my friends in the den. I done forgot how to work the shit. Nah, but man, I'm glad y'all joining me this, Sunday evening. Sorry, spectacular Sunday evening. I hope everybody's doing well. Tonight we're going to talk about Friends, man. And no, not the fucking TV show, because I never watched that shit. But I did watch Living Single, as y'all see, the original Friends. So I had to drop that on there, because I was with that shit. Yeah, shameless plugging. No shame in the game. But tonight we're going to talk about Friends. But man, let's see who's joining us, which friends in the den are joining us this evening. We're going to talk about a lot, man. I know some of y'all are wondering why I have been absent for a bit. We'll talk about that possibly, maybe, for a little bit. And then, like I said, we'll open up the phone lines. You guys will be able to call in, and we'll get on that shit. So, I see Dr. Rabbit, J Dizzle, what's the motherfucking deal? Kenneth, I ain't even gonna give you a hard time, Kenneth. Beyond a Funny Nigga, what's the motherfucking deal? Wise, what's the motherfucking deal? Solid Gamer, Footballer 503, Anthony Bailey, what's the motherfucking deal? Subscribe to your channel, Anthony. Critical Joe, Tina S., and I Gave You Power. Good to see you all. Good to see you all, man. Watching reruns of the Den. Man, just some things been going. You know, I'll get into it briefly, but like I said, we'll talk about it maybe a little bit later. Like I said, we'll talk about Friends. It kind of ties into that, I guess. You know, who knows? But again, like I said, it's good to see all y'all, and I hope you are all doing well. Let me see. Nobody black watch Friends. Man, you'll be surprised, boy. You'll be surprised. I didn't, but you'll be surprised. Some niggas who was, what was that shit? Central Park. Yeah, they was talking about, yeah, man, you know, Friends, man. Friends is where it's at, man. I'm telling you, man. But let's see. Joey, I'm not sure. Joey, the only Joey I know was that off Blossom? Was Blossom the one that had a Joey on there? Or was Joey? No, that wasn't Joey. What I'm thinking about, that was Happy Days, and his name was not Joey. That was the Fonz. God damn. And let y'all know, man. I don't watch enough TV. It is what it is. But again, hope y'all are all doing well. Baker, man. Not only is Baker Man's birthday, Baker Man, what's the motherfucking deal? So everybody give the Baker Man, show him some love, you know, with a good old happy birthday, or happy Earth Day, or happy nigga still alive day, or whatever you want to call it, however you get down with to get down. It's always good to see you. So like I say, plenty to talk about, man. Talk about Friends, talking about, you know, how Joey, it was Full House, goddamn it. Thank you, Jason. Exactly, like so. That's what I'm saying, man. Look, I didn't forgot more than I probably should have. But let me see. I gave you probably say with your first comment. I didn't see it. You just took a pitch to Chipotle. Well, you spent way too much money. So my deal is this, man. My deal is this. First and foremost, I'm glad y'all joined me. Again, I appreciate everybody reaching out. You know, I was just wondering what was what. And like I said, it is what it is, but we'll get into it. But Friends, man, what is we talked about the value of friends before. But let's talk about friends and why friends are good. How do you make more friends? How do you expand your friend base? We come from a society nowadays, if you listen to that rap music, they always talking about fuck everybody, fuck friends, fuck this, fuck that. And I can understand where that comes from. And I know some of y'all probably want to talk about friends with benefits. Somehow, some way, we'll probably stumble into that conversation. This is the den. Y'all know how it works. Most likely, we'll end up in that conversation some way. But, so my thing is this, man. My thing is this, friends. What is the value of friends? I mean, sometimes it's good to have a person that you can just chop it up with when you have no other... You know, I guess you need that person to confide in, a confidant, your friend, your father, and your confidant. No, not like that 50 Cent shit. But sometimes it's just good to share common beliefs, you know, common feelings about things. And I had friends that, of course, we probably don't agree on shit. But when it comes down to it, you know, we know that you can depend on one another. D Love, what's the motherfucking deal? Derek Key, Eric Ali, what's the motherfucking deal? Russell Flowers. And so my thing is, how do you measure the quality of a friend? Because, there's different types. You have the friends, again, like I say, everything is always a disagreement. Man, what's up, Taylor May? What's the motherfucking deal, man? Always good to see you, man. Man, hey, look, if y'all trying to get right, look, this ain't no ad. This ain't none of that shit. This is straight up on GP vouching. Hey, if you trying to get right, I don't care what sports you're in. I don't care what age you is. Hey, look, that first month out of the way, I know people that had them damn resolutions and shit. Y'all done fell off of them hoes already, so it is what it is. But you need to go holler at my boy Taylor May, man, and he gonna get you 100%. He gonna get you all the way right, man. So, man, Russell, I appreciate it. Again, that comes down to me working harder and doing more work. And like I say, we'll get that happening. We'll get that shaking. But, the thing about it is, like I say, friends, there's different types. You got that friend that you may always argue. It don't matter what it is. Y'all going to disagree. But like I was saying earlier, but when it comes down to, real issues, that person always has your back. That person is always looking out for you. They come through in the clutch and vice versa. Then you can have those friends who are, when you up, what did Pimp C say? You got lots of friends when you up and when you balling, and I've been in a situation where things were going moderately well for myself. Things, wasn't hurting and things were looking on the up and up. Had lots of friends. I had all kind of amigos, associations. Had a situation where the rug got yanked from under me. And if you've been here long enough, I literally tell you that I have been to the bottom. And that's why I don't trip on anything. When I say lost everything, I mean lost it all. I mean everything, just to the point where you just in a situation, everything seems like darkness. But then the thing is that you still had those few who fuck with you, who stood by your side and, was there to lend a helping hand, a word of kindness or whatever it may be, and as things have been getting better, you stick with those kind of people. Sometimes it's good to know that you have people who are going to rock with you through thick and thin. Not everybody's built like that. Again, a lot of people, when everything's cozy, when everything's good, they love you. When you taking care of shit, when you doing this, that, and the third, they love you. They love having a good time with you. Those aren't really friends, but those type of people are plentiful. There's plenty people who, when they can get something off of you, they'll be more than happy to hang with you. They'll be more than happy to tolerate whoever you are, or whatever your personality may be, your nuance, whatever it is, because they feel like there's something to gain by being around you. There's lots of those kind of people. Heidi's one of those kind of people. But those real tried and true friends, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Frown when you up and smile when you down. And that's that. You have motherfuckers. That's why I say, man, it's funny. I told myself I'm not doing funerals anymore. And I know that can be hurtful. I know a lot of people, they say you send your well wishes and your regards and stuff like that. But I started looking at things a lot differently. And the reason why, man, is because you have people who will go to funerals just to make sure you're dead, just to make sure it is, or just to have something to talk about. I'm not here for that. I'm here for the good. And I'm here for, trying to remember people when they were at their best. I'm not here for, again, you mourn and you do things in your own way. But it's a lot of people who just want, the worst for you, just to have something to talk about because they ain't got shit going on in their life. They motherfuckers who could have fucked with you the entire time you were here, but all of a sudden now that you're gone, now it's a big issue, man. And I don't fuck with that, man. To me, it's a terrible fucking situation. Exactly. And man, it's just how you say they'll put their finger under your nose and you can't, just to make sure that you did, just to have something to talk about. Man, exactly. Some fuck with you because you official, some fuck with you because you beneficial, man. And that's what I say to the other man. Exactly. When you talk about clout chasing, and that's why I say, a lot of people been saying, man, Honcho, you need to clout chase to do this, to get you. Like, that's why I say even that video that did bring a lot of attention, I'm still questioning that video because I'm like, because it feels like clout chasing. But again, in this game, you got to make your moves how you make your moves. So, it kind of is what it is. But like I said, it'll be those people who You have people who say they there for you. They'll say, oh man, I got you this, that, third. And whenever you know you down bad. And it don't even have to be a monetary thing. It doesn't have to be nothing major. But you know, they see, oh, such, he ain't even got it right. And I've been around people in a situation like that. And knowing your boy down bad or somebody in a situation, and they'll just ignore the phone call, act like they don't see it. And it's a fucked up way to be like, I can't have that on my conscience. And, you know, maybe I'm too, I don't want to say pure, because I have my ways, you know. I think that there are, you know, rules and principles to how you handle certain situations, you know, and it took me learning certain things over time and developing those things. But, you know, anybody that I fuck with, man, and sometimes people I don't even fuck with, and that's why I done cut a bunch of people off. But I'm a type of person, I'll try to go out of my way to make sure somebody is all right. Unique, good to see you. Good to see you. Always good to see you, Unique. Shout out to Unique, fashionista. Always glad when she can join us. Excuse me. And so, but again, I'm a person that goes out of my way anytime that I possibly can. And so I guess maybe certain times I just see things different. And certain times, you know, you got to be careful of the friends that you go out of your way for. And this is another factor in the friendship. You have those friends who are always in some shit. You know what I'm saying? Dude's just in some shit. And you got to learn when it's detrimental to maintain certain friendships. You know, if you're trying to go this way and the other motherfucker's trying to go this way, you got to realize at some point, hey, it was cool while it lasted, but we're on different paths. And it's not to say that I hate you. It's not to say that I don't fuck with you no more, but I have to minimize my associations. And when you kind of get on that kind of path, man, people, again, they will treat you funny. They will act like you did something to them. And the funniest motherfuckers, though, are the people who will do something to you. I seen this the other day and I was like, hell fucking yeah. Somebody posted this the other day, I think on the gram. Excuse me. People who will do something to you and act like you the motherfucker that fucked them up. They'll talk bad about you. Just do you bad. You know what I mean? To in everybody's circles around, they'll run your name through the mud. But you know, you did nothing but be right by them. And just because they feel a certain type of way, they'll start looking for all the negative shit that they can say about you. They'll start looking for all the negative actions that they could ever imagine. If they can't make it, if they can't find it, they'll start making shit up. And that's the fucked up part about it, because people don't have ethics about themselves these days. It's just about making themselves look, just like you said about exactly. They want to be down because of how it looks to us, how things looks to others. There's a lot of motherfuckers that's weird. And that's why I say, like, nowadays the principles are strange. That people, you know, people's personal philosophies. We talk about that a lot here. They're strange, man. You know what I mean? You say you go through there right now, and man, and that's the deal, man. Like, that's why I say I'm glad I went through a lot of turmoil, a lot of tumultuous situations, because that enabled me to say, all right, this motherfucker here ain't about that. You know, this motherfucker really ain't down with me. This person here is, you know, and again, it's not about, hey, I need this or hey, I need that. It's just people and how they react to you when, you know, situations occur. And again, motherfuckers are real funny acting. But again, like I say, I have no ill will towards anybody, because everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. But if you continue to accept those mistakes from certain people, then you're the foolish one. You know what I mean? If you continue to accept those mistakes from people, then you're the one that's going to be, you're going to take you're going to be the one receiving most of that problem, because people will push their issues off on you. Let me get my tablet here, because you know, when I get good thoughts, when y'all say good shit, I like to jot that down. And sometimes, you know, we assign ourselves to these kind of people who they just have problems, and we feel like, man, we got to help them out always. We got to try to swoop in and help them out of this situation and that situation. Sometimes you got to let a person bump their head, you know, and maybe a couple of times, maybe they got to fall down a couple of steps, because think about it. If you weren't here, I mean, we can clock out. Anybody can clock out at any time, man. If you weren't here, how would they get on? How would they save themselves, you know? And sometimes that's kind of how you have to think about it. Like, if I wasn't here, how would this person get on? You know, they relying so heavily on me and my situation. Hey, can you help me with this? Hey, can you do this for me? Hey, can you help me with this? Hey, what about this, this, and this? How would you get on if I didn't exist? You know, and that's a thing. You know, I think that's a very important thing that we have to consider. A lot of times I don't think we do. So you were just going through this, Baker Man. I already know, Baker Man, how I go with you. I mean, I've seen it, you know, firsthand. Motherfuckers be looking like, what's his name? Who was the motherfucker? Not the, I mean, on the Ninja Turtles, I know they used to be on that cowabunga shit, but who was the motherfucker? When they had like a surfer dude on there. No, it wasn't Casey Jones. Casey Jones was the nigga that looked like Jason. Well, they're like a surfing motherfucker. I'm not thinking about another fucking. I might be thinking about somebody else. But yeah, I already know how I go with Baker Man. Why are you saying I uplift everybody around me, encourage people to do better? You have to eliminate, man. And that's how I'm at. And honestly, that's how I want to feel. That's like what I want the outcome of the dens to be. To always try to end on a positive note, on an uplifting note. Sometimes, you know, the conversations be a little bit elsewhere, but you know, we got to keep it just a little too real sometimes. But no, really, like I say, my whole thing is I want people to be better. Like, I think we get injected with too much poison. And when I say poison, not just the food and the shit we eat, but I'm just saying, like, the shit that you watch, most of the shit that you see is not fulfilling, it's not beneficial. And I think people just accept that the whole world is cutthroat. There are good people out there. They may be fewer and far between, but there are good people out there. I think there's great people out there. And we don't see as much of those because people will tell you, well, those kind of people, they're unrealistic, or those kind of people don't really exist. Those kind of people, they're living in a fantasy land. And they'll tell you all these things about people that aren't necessarily real. There are good people out there. And sometimes I'm surprised when I see it, you know. So you stop saving motherfuckers. So you got to feel people out before you make friends. Exactly. And that's why I say I'm very, very cautious with the friends term, because for me to say a friend, I can say I have some very good associations, but for me to say somebody is a friend, especially at this point, we have to have gone through some shit. Like, what I mean it just, and again, you know, maybe you don't go through shit with everybody. Some people you just, you know, it's just not that deep. But when I say I've gone through some shit, and usually it's from motherfuckers from a younger childhood, or we didn't, you know, work through something. We didn't either been in business together to work, really formulate, like really had to execute some shit. And it could be good, it can be bad, but just, you know, casual passing by and, you know, hey, how you doing? How's it going? You know, it's good associations, and it's not to be disrespectful to anybody or anything like that, but it's just like, you gotta, I just feel like it has to be something, a little bit of a risk on the table, and to see how we come through this situation. Either we thrive or we fail, and then how does our relationship alter from winning or losing in that situation? So I think that that's part of it. Lion Lunch, what's the motherfucking deal? The nigga who could, what's the motherfucking deal? Oh man. Hey. Hey man, look. I'm just telling you, man, it's some shit, man. Ooh, look, I don't even want to talk about that. It was some shit. That shit right there. But that's what I'm saying, man. Exactly. That's why I say, man, you know, like me and Taylor Made, man, that's my dude from way back. And there's certain people, like I said, when I got to college, that you just click with. And that's the interesting thing they say about college, is because they say you make some of your very best friends there because you click with people from different backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, people that you might not really have a lot in common with. And so we've gone, it had been times that we've gone, you know, gaps in time and hadn't talked for years at a time. But when we do speak, it's back like right there where it was. Honestly, fucking with Taylor Made, man. This is before some of you young, like, you know, I always got to throw that you youngsters don't know nothing about it. But man, we had a YouTube channel way back in the gap. I mean, way back in the gap. We used to get lit. It was almost like the Den. We would get lit and just talk shit. You know, it didn't have a live streaming shit going on, but we would talk buku shit. Now, had I have known back then, I'd have made sure we'd have stayed more on it. But had I have known back then that YouTube was doing what it was doing, man, hey, Jack, we'd have been the originators, man. I'm talking about on some real shit. But that's what I'm saying, man. You know, that people are envious and strike at any opportune time. That's why you got to be on somebody. Absolutely, I agree with you, man. Hollywood, we too good to be your friends. What point? Nah, man, it ain't nothing like that. You know what my thing is. Of course, we're all friends in the Den, but you know, like I say, I don't know. Y'all might try to get me. Y'all might be trying to jack me. you know, for all 1,000 subscribers, I can't trust you. Man, y'all know that shit ain't shit, man. Like I say, I don't even look at none of that shit like that. You know, all that other stuff. Man, look, stay away from the I got some of the Den videos hidden, but there's some throwbacks. I think I found a couple of them. I don't know, but I think I had them on a hard drive and they had crashed. I mean, this was some while back. I'd have to really do some deep digging to see if I can find them, but it'd be very interesting. Thank you for following through, Unique. I'm glad you could come through. It's always good to see you. I always appreciate when you have a chance to. But man, you know, again, man, like I say, it's you say I try to be a beacon of light, folks. I fuck with and shit I talk about. I mean, that's the thing too, and people have to know that the difference. And I'm gonna open up the line here shortly. Let me go ahead and get some of this together. And I think that's what you have to understand. You know, friendships are interesting because sometimes outsiders looking in, they may think, oh, that's not a good situation. That's not a good deal. And sometimes they can be right. And I think that you got to understand, you know, what's really a good situation for you to be in and what is a bad situation for you to be in. And sometimes we talk about self-evaluation, but sometimes you have to do some friendship evaluations. And you got to understand, you know, what does this person bring into my life that's a plus? And I'm not saying that it has to be anything monetary. It could just be the advice. It could be the situation. It could be, you know, small things. Give me 1 second here. Okay, it could be small things. But does this person try to lift you up? You know, I'm gonna be honest. Like the first thing I was gonna use for this was it wasn't gonna be friends. I was gonna try to put myself back with the only one I could find was super grainy. Was the cover for Boys in the Hood. So you know what it is. Let me see. So man, Edman got too good for it, man. Edman joined the little group. He been hooping and shit, and you know what I'm saying. So my thing is, you know, he hooping with his racist Hispanic group that he joined, and you know, he said he don't got time to type anymore. You know, he'll call in when it's time to call in. You know how Edman do it. He big dogging now. But again, man, like I say, and it's about people who will keep it real with you, because a friendship is not always about positive happiness. You know, everything is always good. It's about how a person helps you get through the tough times. It's about when you fucking up, does this person say, pull your ass aside and say, hey, Honcho, look, you fucking up, my nigga. This is, you know, you really need to consider, you know, this and this, or the path you going on is fucked up, or hey, you better than what you doing right now. Hey, you need to step it up. Hey, you know, you got, I mean, and it could be, you know, of course y'all ain't Honcho, but I'm just using myself for an example. But y'all can call into the Den, man. Denline 833-284-3336. That's 833-2, the number 2, the Den. That's the easiest way to remember it. Maybe I should write that down so that y'all can remember it. But again, if y'all want to call in, y'all got some thoughts, y'all want to speak on friendship. I know it's been a while, and for some things that have taken place in the world that we've missed the last few days, we'll discuss it. We'll talk about it. Again, however y'all want to get on it, man. However y'all want to talk about it, y'all already know how the Den does, man, and it is what it is. But like I was saying, you know, real friendships cover various levels. And so I talked about, you know, my situation. I talked about things that I've been through in my life. And again, some of y'all been here long enough to know, some of y'all have been close enough to know. And so some of y'all have been around, you know, long enough. Some of y'all was there when it actually happened. And the rest of y'all have kind of found me later on. And, you know, we've gotten to know each other and all those good things. But, you know, when I say I cut off a lot of people and I let people show who they were, people were well aware of what was going on, and people were well aware what was happening in my life. So cool. And I kind of let people, and it's the thing, people will position themselves in your life. Now, if you try to fight and struggle to hold on to certain people who are not beneficial to you, then You know, it is what it is. You might not ever really see it because you have some people who are desperate for friends. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, Lyric Northside. But you have some people who will fight to be a part of your life, you know? Because, like, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I was just in the zone, man. Like I say, when I cut a lot of people off, I was going through a lot of shit. I tell you, I lost everything from. I mean, it was like a fucking country song. You know what I mean? I lost everything. And just being in a bad spot, legal issues, just everything was fucked up. And I was in a fucked up frame of mind, a fucked up way of thinking about life, just out of there. And it took good friends who was like, nah, fuck that. Honcho, you can't shake me, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Look, you know, I know what it is. I know what you're going through. You know, hey, you go, you know, you gonna chop it up. We gonna just kick it, even if it's just for a little bit or whatever it may be. And, you know, those kind of people are people that you want to keep in your life always. You want to have friends like that if you can make friends like that. But not everybody's cut like that. Not everybody's built like that. Certain people who like say in and out, but as soon as they found out and they kind of were aware, reached out. Those are the kind of people you fuck with. But there was a lot of people who were there live and direct and just, you know, like it wasn't nothing. It's okay. That shows me, you know, I look out for you. I'm, you know, still trying to do my best and things like that. But, you know, I'm kind of going through some shit. And I'm not saying nobody owes you that. But motherfuckers try to take advantage of you during those times, you know. And so, like I said, okay, I see what it is. I know what it really is. All right, hold on one second. Man, come on. What's going on? Hold on. All right. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening? Okay, my fault. Look, if you just called in, you know, call back. You know, my damn ears hurt now. Yeah, if you just called in, man, call back to the den. I'm gonna try to do it this way. If it gets to acting up, then I have to do it the old school way. But I would like to avoid doing it that way if possible. Yeah, it's ringing in my ear. That shit loud. How do you be watching Life's Biggest Questions on? You say, what did you do? I don't know. It's an automatic thing. Line lunch. Don't worry about it. Sometimes it. Oh, okay. I see what it says because it had exactly point they, or exactly dot they, without a space there. So I guess it thought that it was a link. So you good, man. It's like I say, it's a little automatic, the little bot thing doing what it does. Oh shit! All right, what's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, man.
Josh, what's the motherfucking deal, Josh? Good to hear from you, man. What do you want to drop in the den tonight, man?
All right, man. But about the friends comment, man, it's something that I'm pretty sure it's something that you said like a couple of months back. You was talking about you can't really save everybody. You can't really try to be everybody's friend because everybody's not good for you. And it's unfortunate that, because I don't know your situation, but it's unfortunate you went through the same situation that you usually talk about. Funny how that works. Not saying it's a good thing, but because I've learned basically on what was said then, and I'm continuing to learn what's been saying now, because how I have discernment towards friends is some goes like this. Like, if I meet you, I usually do a great job of like pretty much like talking to people and try to have a good read on people, but sometimes when people say can fool you, but the actions can be different. So in the day and age of social media, which is actually kind of convenient for me, I actually try to ask people for their social just to try to see what person they are, like outside of you know, like you talking to me. And if you're a person that goes AWOL, you're a person that talks crazy, you're a person that talks about sex all the time, someone that wants to get knocked down all the time, then I kind of divert away from that. So I'll just use that. But I'm just using that like as an example, like for me on what I do. I don't know what everybody else does. But the thing how I do it is like if I see friends that are detriment to my success, like I know like it's hard for me to cut them off, but I eventually like try to distance myself. And also like the situation I'm going through right now, like most of my friends, like currently, it's like left me alone. But and at first I thought that okay, like they was cutting me off because I cut them off, but some of them like left me alone just so I can pretty much get my life together so I can get back on track. So it's a two-way street with some of them. And when some of them did tell me that, like I know who's faking and I know who's telling the truth. So it is what it is. You have to have discernment, and that's just something that you have to develop over time.
Okay. And I agree, man. I definitely agree that you do have to be able to determine who is real and who is fake, because there's a lot of damn good actors out here. You know, and motherfuckers, like I say, they know when it's convenient. They know when it's time to be in your face, to be in your circle. They know when to avoid you, and it's funny how that works. But another thing you said, you talked about the social medias, and you're talking about if they always talk about sex and stuff like that. Shit, that's what I'm going. That's the one I'm going for. Why are you getting away from those? That's the bitches you need to be trying to fuck with you.
Like,
I'm just fucking with you.
Okay, let me clarify. Like, it's to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
If it's like a couple of tweets here and there, that's one thing. But if it's like consistent all over and over again for a long period of time, I'm like, all right, man, like this person's kind of like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs or some shit. Like, yeah, because I just use sex as an example to try to say, like, okay, if a girl's kind of like crazy on a 1 to 10, and she's like a 10 on level of crazy, then I don't like that preference. I mean, that's just me. Like, I like an even kill kind of person. I don't like a person that's always on the edge all the time, because if something goes wrong, they collapse, they go crazy, you find yourself in a horrible situation. So, I mean, but that's just me.
Yeah, you definitely want to minimize the crazy that you have in your life. So, I mean, it makes for a much smoother existence. Wow, shut the hell up, Wyatt. Please tell me you lying. Man, Josh, I appreciate you calling. I got to go on a small rant real quick after just reading what I just read, but I appreciate your call there, man.
All right, man. Sure, no problem.
Already. This is why rap is trash. This is why you don't listen to that bull. This is why I had to cut. Like, Nipsey is the only. Nipsey's album came out with last January of last year. That's the only album. And I fuck with Currency. I haven't been fucking with too much Currency new. I know he dropped some new shit. I think him and Wiz dropped some new shit. I fuck with, other artists here and there. Nipsey's is the only album I have continuously jammed. When I was more on my working out shit, that's the only one I was still fucking with. I mean, and that bitch never got boring to me at all. I still jam that hoe. Like, early in the morning, I was straightening up around the crib today, doing some shit, had that fucking Nipsey on. Like, you telling me cardiovascular won over for fucking over. But the reason why I respect him is because that dude did his shit independent. That motherfucker just, his shit is fucking real. Like, and then that's what I'm saying. He ain't had no big major label backing behind him pushing all that shit. Like, that boy did it on the grind. That's why I respect Nip so much, because he did it his way on the grind. Like, but again, whatever. It is what it is. I couldn't tell you a Cardi B song. Like, on some real fucking shit. Like, I mean, that's surprised to even know that he made the Grammy, but I ain't even mad. I ain't even mad out of that. I couldn't tell you. I hear the sound. I can't even call it a voice. I hear the sound that emanates from her throat, and I change it, even if it sounds relatively close to that shit. Like, mute, off, skip, whatever the fuck has to be. Like, no thank you. I just can't rock with that shit. But that Nip, and the reason why I say I fuck with Nip is because Nip ain't just on the same old bullshit. It ain't all, let's fucking do a bunch of drugs, fuck a bunch of hoes. It really don't be on that. It might be a slight reference here, and it might be a slight reference there. But Nip is a storyteller, but he's talking about building. He's talking about real shit. He's talking about, getting out of the old shit. He really talked about, not doing a lot of the same shit and fucking stepping it up a notch. Meek's album was good. Meek's album was cool. I listened to his album for about 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But the Nip has just been consistent. Like, Nip was a press play. You know what I'm saying? Nip was a press play. And there's very few albums that I'll say are just press play albums throughout history. And that means you can just bow. You just let it marinate. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about, I don't really fuck with this song. Let me skip this bit. Press play album. Like if I call an album a press play album, that's high praise. That's high praise, you know. That's that, and there's very few that I'll say are like that. Man, you know what I'm saying? But man, we'll get into that. But here's the deal: Have you seen Cardi get nominated for any kind of Latin artist awards? You know what I'm saying? Like then that's what kills me. Is like they're not claiming her. They don't want nothing to do with no fucking Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? But you got black women, they breaking their necks to fucking claim some Cardi B, man. They breaking their fucking neck to fucking Cardi B. That bitch don't even call herself, like she don't identify with y'all. Like, stop. You know what I'm saying? Just stop. It kills me. But anyway, whole different conversation. Friends. Let's get back to what you sent me from that Calion was going real hard. Like I said, I'm gonna have to check that hoe out. Which one is the one he just dropped, the 2009 joint? Because I fuck with Currency. Like I know Currency is never gonna disappoint. I know, like I said, I'm still relatively new to Nipsey. Whatever the last thing he had before Hustle and Motivate, I think is when not a Hustle and Motivate, before Victory Lap is kind of when I got on him. My old lady actually put me on the Nipsey Hustle because she's from California. And so she was like, yeah, you got to check out this Nipsey. So I caught him a couple of years before the new project, the second to last project he dropped. And so I started with Slauson Boy to Mailbox Money, like all that shit right there. I started fucking with that. So it was kosher. But Currency makes class. Currency is hip hop. And that's why I say I fuck with Currency. You know what I'm saying? He ain't like, I can fuck with niggas who can rap about some shit. It ain't all about fucking Currency talk a lot about smoking weed, but it ain't all about selling crack. It ain't all about, this, that, we struggling. It's just like against the odds music. I like that against the odds music where a motherfucker say, hey, look, don't matter what the circumstances was that we were put in. We didn't build through this. We came out a certain way. Yeah, we were raised a certain way. But guess what? We made businesses. We made it through the struggle without all the fuck shit. We're not promoting a bunch of this fuck shit. We promoting a way to find success no matter what. And that's the way I fuck with it, man. Look. No, I'm not even finna get into it. But getting back to the conversation of friends, man, it is what it is. I don't even know. I shouldn't even be upset about it because it should be expected. If anything, it should be expected. Instagram. Who gives a fuck about that shit anyway? Award shows. Interesting. I'm trying to make the YouTube at the end of the year. What they call that shit? The YouTube rewind. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. But really, man, and just talking about friends, just talking about the situations that we're talking about those toxic friends, right? That are always in some shit and always find a way to drag you into their shit. You got to avoid those kind of people. You have those toxic friends who will, and I hate the word toxic, I got to find a new word for that. But you have those friends who will drag you into some shit, and in a moment you be like, hey, you know what? I've noticed a common denominator in all these situations, and it's you. You're the motherfucker that's always in the shit. You're the one that's always fucking starting the problems. And again, hey, sometimes you got some people who are a little foolish and you got their back no matter what. But when they're constantly starting fucking problems, they're the ones that are always starting the fucking issues. You got to realize, is this person beneficial for my existence? Because every time I fuck with this person, I'm into some shit. My life getting threatened, or I gotta end up beating somebody's ass, or I'm risking some jail time behind this motherfucker, or whatever it is. And half the time I'm going into a situation unexpectedly and getting caught up into the fucking, getting caught up into some shit. You know what I mean? And so you got to look at those things. You got to look at people and say, you know what? You're a problem. And I like your personality. I like, you're funny, you got jokes or whatever, but every time I really fuck with you, I'm in risk of penitentiary time, or I'm in risk of my life is on, or I'm in risk of just something negative happening. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta fucking Cliche left some motherfuckers in 2018. Man, I still got some motherfuckers I want to say back in, what was this, 2019? I got some motherfuckers probably back in 2015, 2016 that's still I'm trying to figure it all out. You know, look, hey, they gonna need a time machine before they fuck with me again. But yeah, I agree. And I'm glad you said that line, Lunch. You have to know how to read people. And that's a skill. We talk about the personal development often. I speak on it often that about personal development is important. Why it's important to associate with different types of people. Because the more people, the diversity that you have in your networks, in your relations, in your connections, the better you get at understanding people. Some of them you see, you realize, hey, this is just a particular habit of a certain culture. Some of them you realize, okay, this is a particular habit of a certain type of person. This is a habit of you got beef. I ain't looking, you know. See, Dr. Rabbit is one of those toxic friends. Every time I step in the den, you know, trying to fight. I ain't even want no plex, man. I was just trying to be cool. But you have these kind of people who don't want anything better. And again, let's get to a point of the conversation. How do you know when it's time? Oh, I put the wrong thing. How do you know when it's time? Shit, I'm fucking up. How do you know when it's time to let certain people go? You know, when does the sign show that, okay, hey, you know what? It is not ideal for me to continue associating with this person. Meet friends. What? Oh, man, I've heard that before. I don't know if you told me that a while back or I saw that somewhere, and I can't remember exactly the definition of it. But refresh my memory, please. I want to say you had told me that when we were talking about something else, but I remember hearing that phrase before. Meet friends, and that's not the Jesse Smollett kind of friends. Bullshit. I've challenged it. You know, all your friends are for favors and ladder climbing. A meet friend is a friend you have fun with. Like in the U.S., they view it as childish. Okay. You get caught with the wrong kind of motherfucking friends, you know, hey. So, but again, if you come into a situation like that, let's talk about that. You know, you talk about networking. Well, actually, let's talk about cutting people off. When do you know how to cut people off? And then I'll come back to meet friends. That means something completely different here in America. There used to be some females who would say Honcho was a meat friend. But, you know, the thing is, when do you know it's time to cut someone off? When do you know it's time to, let me see what you're talking about. There ain't no space. You got a space right there. Your name just doesn't register. That's all it is. So again, you know, they go when they no longer serve you, when you get the shrinking feeling. Okay. When they don't pass the, whew, man. Tell y'all a story. I'm going to tell y'all a story. I already say, what's the motherfucking deal? Good to see you. Man, look, this is just life experience. I guess that's what wisdom is, I guess, but I got plenty more to learn myself. It's funny that you say when they don't pass the blunt beyond funny. Man, it makes me think of a story. I'll tell y'all about those cousins of mine. Now, this one isn't Whoop. This is Get Out. The one I tell you that looked like the dude from Get Out. I remember one time, this was when I was with an ex. This was not the one that passed away, but the one prior to. And we were all chilling. And we were engaging in a session, all right? Cousin Get Out, he comes around, he bring a little something. We had a little something, you know, and then my ex at that point, she had a friend who had come over. I don't know if it was a friend from work or whatever. It's funny. I just barely remember the story. So you got the couch, you got the love seat, and I want to say it was, I'm trying to remember exactly how the layout was, but I know that it was either both of them were on the love seat, and it was me and my cousin. I think we were on the couch. We were playing the game, playing the Xbox or whatever, or something. I don't remember the exact layout, but I remember him being in a corner area. Okay, he was either in the corner of the couch or the corner of the love seat, and so we had multiple blunts in rotation, and one was going one way, and then we had one going the opposite direction. So we smoked. Yeah, matter of fact, I think it was it was the chick I was with at the time, and her friend were sitting on this smaller couch. I was sitting on the and me and my cousin were on the couch. He was kind of in the corner though, because like I said, we were playing. I forgot what we were playing. He might have died or something. I don't remember. And so the session's going on. We smoking. It's all good. We high. Ain't nobody tripping. But then it's like, wait a second. We got blunts going in different directions. I'm like, I haven't seen a blunt in a while. Look over at my old lady and her friend. They didn't have the blunts. And we look in the corner in that little area where somehow that he was nestled away in. This nigga got both the blunts, chiefing on both of them. And we look at this nigga like, man, what the fuck are you doing? Man, they both came to me at the same time. So, I had to hit both them hoes, man. It's like, nigga, how do you double chief on a motherfucking blunt, dog? Like, what the fuck is really going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is really happening here? And, oh yeah, Jay Dizzle. If they paying, goddamn, yeah, I will. Unbeaten, what's the motherfucking deal? But yeah, this nigga here got the motherfucking blunt, both of them hoes sitting in the corner. I'm like, what the fuck is really, you know what, nigga, you getting skipped next time. Like, literally, don't pass this around this nigga. You know what I'm saying? You not hitting this hoe, and we're coming this way. We pass it around this nigga. This nigga here just sitting in, just chiefing. Because it was just like, and here's my thing. Like, I've been in sessions like that before. We pass them different directions. Both blunts come to you. Hey, you hit both them hoes, however you go hit them hoes or do whatever you go do. And then pass one. And, because you like, when I was smoking, like, it really wasn't never really on no puff pass shit. Like, we on some smoke and get high shit. Like, so you going to hit that hoe if you man, hit that bitch. Smoke that bitch, you know what I'm saying? And then pass that motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, here you go, nigga. Like, nigga, you can barely hit that bitch, man. Smoke that bitch. You know what I'm saying? But those were different days. Maybe they'll return again one day, but right now, no. But so that's kind of how it was. But this nigga was sitting here chiefing on both of them. I'm like, my nigga, like you have gone too far. You have broken all the motherfucking rules, man. Like, you are not welcome to come over here and smoke anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, you keep your little funky weed. Just stay wherever you at, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, that nigga there was just, that wasn't on 95, goddamn it, that was early 2000. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, if y'all smoking, you hit that hoe about 2-3 times for your boy, man. Just put it in the air for me. But getting back to friends and shit, cousins don't always make good friends. They family. You can't always shake them niggas. Sometimes you just gotta motherfuck them. You gotta motherfucking let them be where they at. But getting back to friends, don't want to cut friends off. Knowing the value of a friend. And so Lunch said earlier that when you start getting that shrinking feeling, when they no longer serve you. And again, I don't ever want to come across as a person who just feels like, oh, if you ain't doing shit for me, if you ain't always doing shit for me, then you can't be a good friend. 'Cause some people are like that. Some people only want you for everything they can milk you for. If they can't milk you for shit else, then, they don't want to fuck with you anymore. And that's unfortunate because there's a lot of people like that. But again, it should be a mutual exchange. You know what I'm saying? It should be of mutual benefit. If a person, though, in that sense, can't provide benefit, and you're always the one that's doing the benefiting of the other, And, you know, they're not, again, if it's not always talking about money or gifts or shit like that. But if it can't be advice, if it can't be, you know, in small situations, it could be anything, you know, hey, my car fucked up, give me a ride to the store, or, you know, whatever it is. How, you know, what good is this situation? You know what I mean? The small things, you know, it reminded me, what was that fucking Comcast commercial, the motherfucker was trying to move and they called everybody up and nobody nobody fucking answered the shit. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But my thing is, y'all, what happened? Let me see, y'all over there fighting over the words. Hold on, let me, you know, I should have this shit on autopilot. This nigga Jay Dizzle always coming with the smoke. But again, I think that you got to understand the relationship. And sometimes you got to stop and you got to look at, you know, the friends that you've established and the friends that you have and say, okay, let me look at this relationship. How is this relationship? Has it been primarily one-sided since, you know, we've been in association? Has it been mainly me doing the giving? Has it been me doing all the receiving? You know, you have to look at it. And sometimes you got to check yourself as a friend. You know, sometimes as a friend, you got to look and say, man, have I been a good friend? Have I been a user? And sometimes, like I say, I have to look at situations like that. And Roman Kemp, what's the motherfucking deal, Roman? Always good to see you, man. Sometimes I have to look and say, okay, have I been CJ Dizzle, like again, like I told you, that nigga brought a screwdriver to the fight. He jabbed me in the ribs. He did me like old buddy off Gladiator. You know what I'm saying? The Emperor and shit. Hit me with the little pre-fight. You know, he jugged me pre-fight, man. That's fucked up. But again, you know, you have to look at situations and say, what am I giving to a relationship? What am I taking from a relationship? And a relationship doesn't always mean, you know, a physical relationship in the sense of man and woman. But again, so I think these are important things that you have to look at. I think these are important things that you have to discuss. So, and sometimes with yourself. So sometimes you might be a little crazy. You might be, you say, if I can't help, I ain't out to hurt the person either. Exactly. And sometimes certain associations are only supposed to be on a certain level. Sometimes they're not going to be, everybody you encounter is not going to be a great friend. Everybody you encounter is not going to become a former friend and become some bitter enemy. Sometimes people are just kind of neutral, and you'll deal with those neutral people as you go on throughout life. Here's one thing I've never understood. Here's the thing that's always bugged me. Here's the thing that has always bugged me. Hold on. We got somebody calling in. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Man, it's your boy, Roman.
Roman, what's the motherfucking deal? Roman, always good to hear from you, man. What you want to drop in the den tonight, Roman?
Man, first of all, I'll say what's up to you, Honcho. I haven't seen you in a couple of days, man. How was that? Damn, what happened to Honcho, bro? Wasn't giving no updates on IG. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I take a little hiatus, man, but it's all good.
I'll blame you. I'll blame you working on your craft, man. You perfecting the sauce in the den, bro. I respect the black man that's working hard, man. So all respect, bro. No rush, man. No rush. But yeah, what's up to you, the den family? So yeah, I'm about to lay it down, but just real quick, man. Looking at the topic, bro, I just think like a good friend, just friends who understand each other. Like, I mean, I think a real friend is you're able to have a disagreement or able to have like a good conversation with them. If y'all argue too much, you know, you're not, just because you don't agree with me, oh yeah, we're not friends, bro. They ain't no real friend, bro. Friends are supposed to agree to disagree, to, you know, respect each other's opinions. Of like, okay, I respect your opinion. I don't mostly agree, but I respect it. You know, friends are not afraid to tell another friend, hey, you doing wrong. You ain't doing what's right. You know, our friends, I'm afraid supposed to laugh and agree, but you can't be afraid to call your friend out on bullshit, man. So you call them out on things that ain't right. Like, if you just accept everything they do, you ain't a real friend because you setting them up for failure, bro. So that's how I feel, bro. If you can keep you and yourself, your friend, accountable of what y'all do, man, I feel like, man, that's a friendship that'll last for years upon years, bro. But fake friends agree with everything you do, everything you're doing is right. You're just the best of all time. And every fan's supposed to pump each other up, but not to pump each other up to, oh, everything you do is right, man. Nah, you just lead them down to a road to failure. So, that's all I got, Honcho. Like I say, I'm tired. I'm about to lay down, but I want to call in and just to say what I got to say. And it's good to see you, man. It's your boy, Roman, man. I'm out.
Already, Roman, man. Appreciate the call, man.
Man, anytime.
Already. So here's my thing, and I agree, man. There's something that he said that I definitely want to highlight on. And he was talking about fake friends. Fake friends will pump up everything that you say. And here's the funny thing about that is because some people will pump you up, they'll lift you up just to watch you fall. You know, motherfuckers will sell you all this game, will encourage you to go in a particular direction, knowing that it's detrimental for you. It's bad for who you are, what you're about, or anything like that. The lifestyle that you may be living, you know, all that type of stuff is a negative. It's terrible. But the thing about it is, you know, they'll encourage it. They'll encourage that shit. They'll tell you, yeah, go do that, just because they want to see what the fuck is going to happen to you. You know what I mean? And that's a fucked up type of person, because some people, they're so miserable with themselves, they want to see other people fail. It makes them feel good to watch other people fail. And sometimes they'll do it under the guise of friendship. They'll do it under the guise of support or things like that, you know. And again, it's a fucked up situation, but you'll be surprised how many people out there like that. Makes me think of that movie. What was that fucking movie? Again, y'all know I be forgetting all the damn movies. You know that movie, and I be calling it the wrong shit. Where they was like, I think it was like a brother and sister, but they was like on some fucked up shit. That was one of them old weird ass Hollywood ass movies. That's that LA shit. One of them weird ass movies where, you know what I'm saying? What is the one, man? What's the fucking, not, what, Cruel Intentions? Something like that. Cruel Intentions, Bad Intentions, whatever the fuck it was. You know, and MJG, that's funny. But again, you know, oh man, you know, you know, Dr. Rabbit don't know nothing about that. But again, you know, to make improve their lives and they have to. But yeah, that's the thing. You know, as long as you know that you're putting out good advice and you know that you're being genuine about your actions. I mean, there's only so much you could do. It's up to a person to take that action, to take control of their own life and move forward. But you have people who will put you on a path and then deliberately undermine you. You have people who will tell you to do this, tell you to do that, just to watch you fuck up. And again, like I said, I don't understand what someone gets out of that. But people do it. People do it more often than you would want to believe. Let me pull up some of this scissor, man. You don't know, player. And it's bad, man. It's just fucked up. Like I say, you know, I'd rather not fuck with somebody than waste my time trying to corrupt them, or call them a friend and corrupt them. Because I told y'all, if I ever hit the fucking lottery, I'm corrupting everybody. But as far as someone I call a friend, I'm going to encourage them to do better. I'm going to encourage them to do what's most successful in their situation. I want to get back on the thing that Heidi had mentioned. Meat friends. Chinese people have meat friends. That's a fucking strange ass thing, but you know, it is what it is. Whatever. But the meat friends, the meat friends who basically are, I guess, the fun friends, and then, you know, that the Asians or the Chinese people prefer friends who can help them come up in life. As I think about it, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. You know, you have people that you have fun with. And there are certain friends that are like that, you know, you can have fun with. But I think here in America, maybe we try to combine the two, and maybe that's the right way to think about it. Maybe you have certain associations that you keep to, you know, increase your status. Or you have the friends that you have fun with. So, and the reason why I say this is, people, their goal in life, your goal in life, everyone's goal in life is to improve, to do better. There's been times in my life where I can honestly say that, and it's probably stupid, looking back at it now, that I've withheld myself from certain opportunities, and this is when I was much younger, from certain opportunities in fear of, how it would impact my friendships, And that's why I tell a lot of these youth nowadays, when some of the younger folks come into the channel, they chat or they talk, to not overvalue too many of the friendships that you have now. You'll have some good friends that you'll meet, junior high school, maybe some from elementary. But the majority of them that you're trying to impress, that, are cool kids or whatever the fuck it is, they're not really your friends. Value one or two important relationships that you've established at a young age that you'll always stay connected with. But, fuck the people that you grew up around for the most part. Because just because of proximity doesn't always mean that these are the best people for you. These are the best people that you will come across in your life, especially if you're coming from a lower income area or whatever it may be. Then more than likely, these are not the best. This is not the best situation for you. But you grew up with these people. You've known these people. They're entertaining. They're fun. It's always a good time with them. But these people can't help you reach that next level that you're trying to succeed to, that you're trying to get to. Then you have those associations that you should probably be around a lot more. Good night, Dr. Rabbit. That you should be around a lot more, that are a bit more successful, that have a better understanding of the world, that just can help you get to that next position. Again, like Lionel said, like a mentor. I think that's very important to have. Oh, 335. Oh, no, 335. You got to be careful, man. Hold on. Let me see what's going on here real quick, man. Let me see something. Let me see what's going on, man. I seen some numbers looking pretty. Uh oh. You got to be careful. How they trying to take you for that top spot, man. Pause. But again, and then you have those associations, the ones that are more beneficial to your life. And those are people who are striving, say if you're going off to college, or if you have a professional work environment that you should be associating with, because they're striving for the top. So you should be striving for the top. You have to make a decision. What is it that you want? Is it in life, do you want to have the most entertaining, most fun friends in the world? Or do you personally want to have the best life that you as a human being can obtain? I think that's something you have to consider. That's a decision that you have to make as an individual. If you get caught stealing sunglasses, you motherfucking right. Never lost. So you say it's like for so it's a convenience there. Again, yeah, you definitely in a situation like that, yeah, you definitely need to have some friends in high places. But shit, even in America, you see that type of situation pans out all the time. If you got friends in the right position, we're not talking friends with benefits. You want to have them in the right position also. But we're talking about friends of wealth, a certain caliber, a certain standing in the community. All right, D-Love, man, appreciate you coming through, D-Love. But again, being in a certain position, it's good to have those kind of friends. No fries, no food, no medicine, no water. But yeah, well, there's no water. There's no water anywhere. Oh my God. Oh man. Fuck. Fuck, man. There's no water anywhere, people. There's no water anywhere. No, it's a joke. I don't know if I ever told you guys a joke, but it's not really a joke. I guess it'd be more of an anecdote. But a friend of mine, friend of mine a while back when we were younger. It was a very interesting situation. A lot of details, a lot of nuances to the story, and it would probably take a whole 10, 15 minutes just to explain the complications of that story in itself. But basically, let's just say, to cut everything short, my best friend I told you that had passed away. Damn, this was almost going to be going on 10 years. It was 29, that's it, fucking fast 10 years ever. Crazy shit. It's fucking crazy. Had some, we'll call them family. They weren't really family, but we'll call them family for the sake of all the bullshit. They were staying at their house, and we didn't care for these people too much. Like, that used to be the house. Like, after school, we'd always kick it there. We'd always hang out. And so, we being young, there's some new people who have invaded our territory, you know, and we didn't care for them too much. Well, these new people had children. Fucking the worst kids had a little baby that fucking ate butter straight from the fucking tub. Not even butter, fucking country crock. Just was, the motherfuckers would let the little fucking kid eat fucking butter, little fucking butter baby. Fucking hate that kid. You probably shouldn't hate kids like that, but yeah, fuck them kids. Like, for real, fuck them kids. Then had another one, little son. He was a purebred punk. I mean, pure punk. We used to do some awful stuff allegedly to these people. Like, we'd be hanging out over there, you know, we'd be kicking it in the back room, we playing games and shit. And there was like a different way you could go out to fucking the front and shit. So like, anytime we'd be over there, we might be deep playing on the game or something. So anytime somebody had to go piss, like, they'd go outside allegedly and piss in the fucking the dude's truck, man. Fucked his shit up bad. Like, you know, like fucking his engine up real bad. But that's the whole bone. That motherfucker probably pull up, get off work, and fucking be like, what the hell, you know? Fucking shit on empty. Motherfucker get up the next day or something. That motherfucker probably got a full tank, trying to figure out, must have thought Santa Claus came and hooked him up or something. But we used to do some awful shit. We just didn't like them motherfuckers. But yeah, eating butter baby. But anyway, the little kid, the little fucking punk, man. He's a fucking little shitty, little snitchy, just a shitty fucking kid. And it's not his fault. His parents were shitty too. One night, like I say, we're staying over. This the weekend. You know, we kicked it over there all the time or whatever. That's just kind of how we hung out. And man, it was me and my partner. And I think we probably just ended up coming from out the backyard getting lit or some shit, allegedly. And so I go in the back room, go get on the game. And I guess he went to the kitchen to get some water or something. And he said, you know, he was in there, and the little fucking kid comes out from a different room, and he's like sleepwalking, right? Motherfuckers just kind of aimlessly walking towards the sink. Well, obviously, I think somebody left some water in the sink. It was some dirty water in the sink. And the kid, I don't know what happened, didn't, I guess, sleepwalking or whatever, was like looking around. Apparently he said made like some noises, and just like, there's no water. There's no water anywhere. And started fucking splashing. Started splashing the fucking dirty sink water and drinking it. Like, again, hey, it's no water anywhere. But just like, there's no water. There's no water anywhere. And that was like the fucking, I don't know why that fucking shit was like a little joke that we would just crack every time we see that little motherfucker. Like, was it fucked up? Yes, absolutely it was fucked up. Kid couldn't help it. Fuck them kids, goddamn. They let them little shitty kids do whatever. But you know, that was a temporary thing. But it was funny. But that's so every time I hear there's no water, like that shit is fucking hilarious to me, because you just have to see how the kid looked, and it's just the whole thing, man. Country crock and dirty sink water for a midnight. No, that was a long time ago. That was some old junior high school shit, man. You know, and so there's that. So you best pass and make, so you some give people the benefit of the doubt. Give them the doubt of the benefit. That's it. Let me write that down. Let me jot that down. But like I say, you know, a whole lot of stuff, whole lot of crazy stuff. Just been dealing with some stuff, some real world issues. The last few days. Oh, matter of fact, look, I ain't even make sure while we in here. I'll be forgetting to do this shit. Make sure you're following on all the proper Den socials. Socials. Facebook Didn't Show Live, Twitter Didn't Show Live, Instagram Didn't Show Live. Can y'all see? Can you see it? Right there. Wrong hand. I'll be fucking mixing my shit up. Right here, go right here. All this shit. I got this shit reversed, so it's hard to fuck. I'll be fucking up. Fuck y'all cracking jokes and shit. And again, if you want to contact the Den, there you go. 1-833. It's the same fucking number that's right here. And denshowlive@gmail and thedenshow.com. But just dealing with some real world issues, man. Then just kind of looking at how I need to handle certain things going forward. Just studying some stuff between here and the other channel, and just looking at what I'm gonna have to do, with the other channel. Looking at what I need to do with this channel. And so I just took a time out for a little bit. Just kind of spent some family time because, like right around this time is, usually, especially during the week, is between the sauce and this, at 7, usually about 6 o'clock, I start focusing on that. And so, family time is cut short. So I kind of spent some time with the little one. I introduced her to Dragon Ball Z. So she has become a big fan of that as of late. That's super fucking funny because she just be watching shit. So I'll be quizzing her on who is what and what is who. And so now her favorite character is Gohan, because he turned into a big fucking monkey. We're just now getting to the point where let me see. So we started watching it this week. So we're just now to the point where Goku is coming back. Yeah, Goku is coming back from fucking King Kai. And so, he's on his way back, and I think the matter of fact, Vegeta and the other nigga just landed. I forgot the other nigga's name, but Vegeta and old buddy just landed on Earth. Like they just hit the fucking city, and so that's the episode where that's where we're at now. So everybody Dragon Ball Bridge. No, I haven't seen it like that because it could definitely be like that's the thing that be killing because that fucking commentator he be milking the shit. Yeah, it's just the beginning. Like I said, we season 1, about 20 episodes in, something like that. So. And so here's the deal, though. It's kind of fucked up, man. It's kind of fucked up, but because I really don't be big on all the electronic shit, and all the TV watching and all that. So the deal is, every time an episode finishes, if she wants to watch another episode of Dragon Ball Z or a show or something, she got to do 25 push-ups. So, I'm just like, I think you're tired. I think you can't. Man, she get out. She started doing them goddamn push-ups. She want to fucking watch some more shit. So, hey, look, we ain't going to just be absolutely lazy about it. We're going to do a little something. You know what I'm saying? So, there's that. And then I do them too, So she ain't just doing it by herself. Or if she do her set, I'll do my set. And go from there, So, but it's just some other things been going on. I'm gonna hold off before I get too detailed about it, because like I said, I just just kind of see how some things pan out. But we'll talk about it a little bit more depending on what happens with that situation. But yeah, just life, man. So sometimes you got to take a little bit of a break and fall back. I didn't intend to, really go as long, but then I just said, you know what, might as well just hold out to the weekend, and start the week right, and kind of do it from there. So, but definitely miss the den. You know, the den is always a very interesting conversation because the den is consistent. You know, if I'd have came back and started talking rockets or some shit, it'd be like 3 people in the stream. The den is always consistent. So, you know, I fucks with that. Here's the deal, though. This is what's going to happen. Give me 1 second. I'm not cutting the stream short. I know y'all hear that. Here's the deal. And be like, this nigga finna cut. It's not finna happen. Not yet. I just need to take a short break real quick. And then we will jump right back into the conversation. So if you don't mind, give me 1 moment. And then we'll be right back at it. My fault. I had to fix that. Got me myself looking all emo and shit. But so in my few days off, guess I did some studying, did some looking at some things. Say Akeem Hunt, Robert Nelson. Okay. The AAF. I seen the AAF motherfuckers out there hitting and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be very interesting. But so on my little hiatus for a few days, I noticed some things. So like I said, I'm just looking at other YouTubers, seeing what makes them successful, you know, and what works and what doesn't work, because I want to make sure I'm just looking at my angle with the den. You know, I look at that video, which brought a lot of new subscribers in, and I'm just, you know, because I tell you, I don't want to be the entertainment news guy, but I know that's what brings attention, and it's not about me, it's about giving people what they want. So that's kind of something I had to do some determining on, some thinking about. But while I was doing all of this, I realized that there's like 3 types of women. No, I've already been saying that. There's like 3 types of black YouTuber. Okay, well, as far as from what I was studying, I guess you got makeup motherfuckers and shit like that. You got 3 types of black YouTuber, and I don't know if I necessarily fit into any of these molds, and I'll kind of explain that in a second. You got the black YouTuber who uses, well, I got black skin, but I'm not like black people in any other way type of YouTuber. And those guys, again, maybe that's who they are. Maybe that's what they is. Maybe it's what they are. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe what that is that they use that as leverage. Because I think that, like, some of the channels I was looking at, I was like, okay, well, you know, this guy does some interesting things. And then the more I watch, the more I'm like, I don't feel like this is genuine. I feel like either, you know, or maybe it just doesn't relate to me. But you know, sometimes I think that, you know, people know that there's a market, and there is a market, or there's a thing out there, you know, if you can be the token black guy, if you will, you know, well, I'll say all the stuff that the other black people won't say, and, you know, white people will like me because, or a certain type of white person like me because I say these things that no other black person is saying. And again, the race shit, it really doesn't matter, but in this context, it does. So you got those kind of guys. You know, I'm gonna say all the bad stuff about, you know, whatever black people are doing. Everything is a negative. Everything is bad. I hate everything about them. You know, I got to distance myself from them as far as I can. You know, everything is bad. You got those. Okay. And I'm not that guy. I'll talk about things that I think that, you know, we should stay away from, but I talk about things that I do love and I appreciate. And I wouldn't change it for the world, but I want to see my people do better. The number one group, they don't want that. They just want to be disassociated with. Then you have number 2, and the number 2 group is basically the exact opposite. And the exact opposite is that, you know, niggas can't do no wrong. None of this is our fault. You know, everything is everybody else's fault. You know, and you know, we're all this and we're all that. Absolutely, but yet none of the problems are our fault. But all the good, what you can call good, if you want to call it good, is we get credit for. And my thing is, I've talked about the pro-black situation, and I look at it from an aspect of, you know, at this point, it's not about history. It's about economics right now. It's about economics right now. And if it's not about, if you're not worried about, you know, black economics and building and growth and black business and stuff like that, it's not too much I really want to hear about any of the rest of the shit, because right now here in this country, that's basically what's necessary. Like, I don't want to hear about, you know, the bullshit from the Democrats. Well, we'll make sure we're not racist. Trump's a racist. And, you know, but is Trump talking about jobs? Is he talking about, you know, bringing money to the economy? You know, he's talking about, you know, money and urban development and things like that. That's what people want to fucking hear. Like, motherfuckers don't care about this shit. All the Democrats, the ones that are in fucking blackface, like shit. What y'all gonna do for us? Goddamn, don't go to Virginia. So there's that. You have that crowd of, super pro black, everything. Okay, and then the third crowd is the gossip crowd. Like they don't care about advancement. It's not about advancement. It's not about hating black people. It's just about gossip. And I don't want to be that guy, definitely. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just looking and kind of picking and choosing and kind of seeing what traits that other people use and have that I find interesting and that maybe I can apply. And then I look at, what I definitely don't want to be. But those are the main three that I've come across in my ventures. And maybe, like I say, I don't know, maybe I have this philosophy that isn't the most beneficial for YouTube. Maybe I have to look, and that's what I say. I have to be me. Like I can't emulate this, because here's my thing. And I know with that Jesse video, a lot of people came, and a lot of people that like that, are looking at it like, oh, well, see, that's one of the black guys that'll say all the other stuff about, it's not that. It's that particular situation I disagreed with, and looking at it factually, and I disagree with it. But I won't be a channel that looks for all the bad stuff that only black people are doing and point. I'm gonna point finger at everybody. As news and things come out, I'm gonna talk about everybody in the way that I honestly see the situations being. But some people expect you just to align with one side and always say this stuff. And I see certain people who do that, and they're willing to omit common sense or reason just to pander to us. I'm like, I'm not here to pander to anybody, and so it's always going to be times at the end where we may agree on certain topics. There's going to be a lot of times we're going to disagree on topics, but that's what makes the den what it is. Yeah, fuck that Jesse dude. He on some bullshit. But I think, and I think that's just kind of how it has to be. But I'll continue to make videos and do the things like that. And again, the people who fuck with it will fuck with it, and the people who don't, well, they won't. And it just is what it is. But, I've been looking at some, maybe some different news angles about other topics outside of just celebrity shit, but definitely bringing opinion on a lot of different things. And so, but I realize I can't do too much variety because, like I say, after just doing some things and kind of learning a few more things about the algorithm, variety is not the best benefit. Specific topics are, a channel that's based around one specific theme is best. So I don't know if I need to approach it as the angle of news or if I need to approach it as an angle of a certain specific thing, but that's kind of where I'm still working on that. But until then, we're just going to keep on doing the den. So that was part of my research, but definitely got to stay original. Got to just kind of do what feels right, but at the same time, time is important. So there has to be gains do have to be made. So we'll put it all together. We'll get it all figured out. Friends, meet friends, base it on anime. That might be a thing. I'm laughing at 335. That's funny. What? No, what do you mean Photoshop? That's a real photo. That's 100% authentic. What are you talking about? That I was there. See, haters would say it was Photoshop. I was there. I was in the mix. I was an extra on Living Single. Many people don't know that, even though I was a fucking small child at the time. Yeah, and I think that's kind of what it is, and I think that's the angle. Like I said, their line lunch is just, I'll definitely continue to drop videos on, the topics that people are interested in, but the live streams will primarily be about the values, about, life things. And of course, there'll be certain conversations, certain days that we'll just have, those conversations. And there will still be plenty of ratchetness. I just haven't been as ratchet as of late. But there will still be plenty of ratchetness for all those who enjoy the tomfoolery and the shenanigans. I haven't said that in a while. But that'll always be a part of the den. Yeah, man. Like I said, I slipped up because shit. Even last Sunday, I don't think we did confessions. So I definitely slipped up on that. We'll make sure. Hey. We'll make sure next Sunday night confessions. I need to start coming. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to come up with a theme for each day. You know, Sunday night is the confessions. What did I say? Well, I did. I had one for Friday. I said Friday was supposed to be what, nostalgia night. Yeah, and that's the crazy stuff. But that's what I'm saying. If I fucking had tits, and I was showing some cleavage, I think these days it wouldn't even matter if I was a man or a woman. You know, this weird world we're in. I'd have a fucking million fucking subs. And so that's why I say it's hard for me to take channel advice from women. And again, you can call it sexist or whatever it is, like when they talk about growing an Instagram and growing a fucking channel with women, I don't listen to their advice. I got to find some like ugly looking halfway deformed dude who has a lot of subs for me to take their, either a lot of followers or a lot of subs, and then that's what I listen to, because I'm like, all right, cool, we can make this work. But if I'm talking to some chick who all her pictures are of her in a bikini, even if she's not getting naked, I said naked, with her ass cheeks hanging out, oh shit, hold on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got called into the den this evening?
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, man, with just one question, man.
All right, what you got, Josh?
All right, man. Like, I know, like, some things on Twitter, like, I'm not supposed to take it, like, for 100% face value, but I just seen some, I think it was yesterday, about how, like, most people, like, from high school, like, they try to, like, get back, I'll put this, because they just try to get back with people, like, from their years past. And the people now, it's just like, why are you trying to see me now? So pretty much the question will be, like, are girls frightened when they say, like, oh, like, they don't want to see, like, people from high school no more? Or is it just, like, so they're just playing in that regard? So, yeah, so I just want to know your opinion on that.
When women say they don't want to see people from their high school anymore, especially via social media, I'm going to explain this to you very simple. In high school, those women were hoe-bagging it up, and they've created a different persona on social media now to be something that they really aren't. They don't want people from their past coming and bringing up the fact that they were hoe-bagging it up. And so that would not coincide well with their new image. So that's why they try to avoid or act like they don't want to fuck with and or know those people. But it is what it is. Everybody's entitled. I mean, some people just, you had to go to where you went to high school. You had to deal with who you had to deal with. Maybe, like I was talking about, proximity doesn't really make people your friends. Maybe they wanted to let that lifestyle go. Maybe they've moved on to different things, different cities. They talk about women hopping to the new city, being being able to sweep all those skeletons in their closet. I'm not saying this is all chicks. I know I'd be talking shit, but I mean, I think it is. I think it's just a situation. Sometimes you don't want to fuck with people you used to fuck with on a grand scale. It might be 2 or 3 people, like I was saying. You make those 2 or 3 good friends that you fuck with that you knew back in high school, but. And depending on if you come from a big city, a small town, or how you basically get down, like it's I think there's several factors into it, but I can't blame a chick if she don't want to fuck with motherfuckers back from her past or nothing like that, But I think that's what it is, Maybe she generally try to hide something, or you got niggas who didn't have that opportunity in high school and now they trying to. They still think something is something. A lot of motherfuckers still had that old high school fantasy about some of these chicks. So, she was bad in high school, but she kind of lost it. But, I still hit. And, it's just like a lot of small things. I think there's different factors for different situations. But, yeah, I mean, I can't blame anybody who doesn't want to, engage with people that they were fooling in high school.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, man, because I kind of like, because I kind of see your point because it's all different angles. Because I guess where she was coming from, because I guess the situation was like a dude from high school kept probably hitting her up, and she probably wasn't interested, and then she probably just took to social media, and everybody just started agreeing with her. For some cases, I don't know, because as well as I know, people be frightened, people be saying one thing, meaning other people try to get people thinking one way. So I just guess in that situation that she just probably wanted to move on, but and that's just what it is. Like, not saying like that's me, because that's just me think. Because I just seen that like from a distance, and it made me think a little bit to what people, what the move for people really is out there. But
man, what I'm gonna say, it is, and like I say, it could be. Like I say, sometimes you just want to let go of those memories. Sometimes you want to be like, "Fuck that." You're not trying to go backwards. You're trying to move forward, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's all Gucci.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a bet, Josh. Man, I appreciate the call, man.
All right, man.
All right. All right, so I wasn't that slick with it. I was trying to fucking eat the little fucking pretzel. It was like a lone pretzel sitting there by itself. I was tempted to be. Yeah, they used to be so fine. Oh, man, that's what I say. That's why Devin go hard. Because Devin has made a song for all occasions. Yes, hoe bagging. Hoe bagging. She had a bag full of all the supplies that she needed to get her hoe on. And so, it is what it is. But again, I tell y'all all the time, I have no problem with hoes. I like hoes. You know what I'm saying? I love women, love ladies. I like hoes, hate bitches. So, that's really all it is, man. I don't know what's going on with that. But that's funny. Recommend the full video of the Why Are You Gay? You got it. Okay, I haven't heard that. I've definitely checked that. It already sounds interesting. Man, my old lady has sent me something about some preacher. I don't know where he was, but he was trying to like read the first verse of the fucking Bible, and like it was terrible. He was like, "Fuck," I can't remember what part. In the beginning, like he couldn't say. Throw that on the shirt. I bet that. Let me see how. Yeah, throw that on the shirt. We're gonna have to do a special din about that one. I think when we're gonna come in here riled up. Fuck you, nigga. Fuck your motherfucking ass. You must be gay. That's gonna be the first thing they say. I ain't even gonna listen to what a nigga saying. They just gonna be offended. That's how motherfuckers be these days. The cussing pastor, the light skinned nigga from Cali. I'm gonna have to check it out. Who, man, I remember, man. This was a few years back. Like I say, I don't be around the way no more. Man, I'm telling you, man, me and my me and my partner, man, it's my best friend for you, pal. We used to be on some shenanigans. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I ain't seen that one. Me and my partner used to be on some shenanigans, man, and so, we go scoop some hoes up. Sometimes we'd have hoes from the schoolhouse. Okay, we'll tell a little gal, she come too. We gonna, get them by the double. So, in my room back then, I had a couch and the bed. So I'm gonna talk about the couch, the $10 couch, in just a second. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
All right, it's your boy Edmund.
Edmund, what's the motherfucking deal? What's
all right, so
what you got there? No?
So I have a confession to make.
All right, what you got there?
So for some reason, I set my alarm to wake up early, but every time it sounds off, I can't wake up. Like, I hear it, but I can't force myself to get up. So it's not really a confession, but it's more of a question, I should say. What should I do? Like, what are some methods for me to wake up at the time that I want to wake up?
That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Go to sleep earlier. I don't know. Maybe what is the sound? What is it that you have as the alarm for for you to wake up? What is the noise?
Just a typical. I don't even know. Like it's just normal. I have like an alarm clock, so I don't know, just a regular alarm clock. I haven't like my phone alarm clock is a Justin Bieber Baby song, but the only reason I put it was because I hate it, and I thought since I hate the song that I would wake up, but it hasn't worked out recently.
Well, my advice is going to be not to use that song. Two, which you have the ability, to use different sounds and things for your alarm. I would get something loud and annoying, maybe like a fucking rooster crowing, maybe some type of alarm like a fire alarm or some shit that something that would be very loud and very annoying would probably be my best advice. Justin Bieber Baby would be the last thing I probably wouldn't. It would not be a thing I would recommend because it's not something that I would think of. You have to get something repetitive and something annoying because that soft shit is not going to have the desired effect. I have like a generic ass. I have a generic ass one of these fucking phone sounds. It's like some old dry ass jazz rain shit, and that shit never works. I just happen to know what time I want to get up, and so I start waking up like 4 minutes before the alarm goes off. So I usually don't hear it, but it doesn't work whenever I do kind of oversleep. But yeah, I would recommend getting something loud and annoying, fucking chicken cackling, fire alarm, something like that. So that's probably where I would go with that, man.
Okay. So no Justin Bieber songs, right?
No Justin Bieber. No Taylor Swift, no Justin Bieber, no none of that type of shit. So there's
all
that.
Right. I also want to give an update about the chick that I mentioned, I think it was a few weeks ago.
The move-in chick?
The chick that was flirting with me, like that was flirting sexually. The guy that friends
Whoa, the guy. What I thought this was a chick. How did that switch so quickly? I had to go from a chick to a guy.
No.
All right, what you got? The one with your friend, you were saying your friend went into the restroom or something and the chick was flirting with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I found out that she was actually pregnant and she got an abortion. This was like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Nothing recent. I thought she was pregnant while she was flirting with you. I was going to say, well,
nah.
Go raw. You ain't got nothing to gain, nothing to lose. Well, you got
nah, but legit, like one of her friends told me that back in her senior year in high school, she was just, wilding out every single dude she met.
Like
and
Nick
one
Cannon?
day she got, yeah, I guess you can say like him. But the point is that she got, one night she got drunk, went to the party, woke up the next day, she started feeling sick, went to the doctor. Well, she got a pregnancy test first and got a doctor's consulting, and she found out that day that she was pregnant. She never told parents. She did everything herself. She got the abortion. But, one of her friends told me about that situation. And from there, I just stopped talking to her, even though she's an easy get, but I don't think it was worth it, especially after what she told me.
So you're saying, so after that situation, it has altered your opinion of the young lady, but you didn't admire her resourcefulness to not have to rely on her parents to take care of the mistake that she made. Now, I'm not saying I'm condoning abortion or anything like this, but you might have to give her credit for, being getting on a grind and then working on her mistakes, Also, yes, Tina S, yes, keep your socks on. That's all you got to do, man. If you don't, you get into a situation like that, then man, just, I think you're getting too emotionally involved, because what you're thinking about is all the post-sex stuff. Like, none of that matters. Like, if it's just supposed to be about, this is where the den gets ratchet. It's about ratchet time anyway. You're worried about shit that don't matter. You talk about straight fucking. Like, you trying to smash. You're not trying to, like, establish a new colony with this motherfucker. Like, you just trying to hit it. So all that other shit is irrelevant to you, because here's the deal. If you continue through college, especially, with college becoming the way that it is, you're going to probably encounter several women that you've had intercourse, relations, affairs with, that have done the same, if not worse. You're just not going to know about it. So if you're going to let something like that alter the way you think about a purely sexual situation, then, I think you're overthinking it. Excuse me. But I mean, hey, everybody has standards. You set your own bar. But honestly, I don't really think that matters, as long as she ain't burning you, as long as you wrap up, strap up, so you ain't got no little Edmonds running around, and keep your socks on to prevent, slip and slide and friction and all that other stuff. You want to make sure you hold a steady, stable position. You're good to go, man. But I don't know. Like I said, each his own. To each his own. If that is a situation that will stop you from progressing forward with a young lady, I think the numbers in your future are going to be diminishing rapidly.
I mean, it's not the fact that I don't want to have, sexual relationships with other chicks. It's just that this specific case kind of altered my mindset a bit. And so I just decided, there's other fishes in the pond, in the sea, whatever you want to call it. And so I just decided to cut communications off. At the end of the day, I don't want to jeopardize my career just for a chick, so because I think what I learned through this is that, the fact that she was almost the same age as me, but the point is that I think I've learned that I kind of dig chicks that are younger than me, but not in the way that you think. They have to be legal.
You said it, R. Kelly, not me.
No. They have to be legal. Okay. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know if you heard of the whole situation with this dude named Brandon Cavillo or something.
No, never heard of.
So basically, he's a 24-year-old YouTuber, part of a squad called the Vlog Squad. Mm-hmm. It's a big vlogging squad on YouTube.
Oh, is that the dude who's with that Dobrik guy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I heard some shit like that. Okay.
So he basically got caught up in some shit, and he got exposed because his current girlfriend, at the time they were dating, she was a 17-year-old, and he was, I think, a 23-year-old, or 24, however old he was. And so, obviously he's trying to cover it up, but clearly there's a lot of evidence back in different videos of, him having him and her saying sexual things about each other. Like, there was one video about David Dobrik when they were going on a date, and he was asking the chick, "Is he good in bed?" And she was like, "Yeah, I think he is." And so that, the whole point is that, I don't know if this is a den topic at itself, but the fact that she loves the guy, even though she basically lied to him because they met through an app similar to Tinder, and the dude didn't know that she was 17 until I don't know how long, but they clearly had a intimate relationship when she was still a minor. But this has nothing to do with me, so I only date legal. So
I think you studied the
I'm
whole.
not no R. Kelly.
You studied the whole scheme. It's like, okay, well, if I can, coerce her just to a few days out. Now, yeah, I kind of heard what you were talking about. But my thing is, I need to see somebody different. But that's my thing. One, I said, like, I don't like young hoes. Look, give me a give me an old chick. I'll take some experience over some tutoring any day. Look, I ain't got time for that. Look, I need a bitch that already got some credits. You know what I'm saying? Look, I don't need no remedial intercourse going on over here. But my thing is, I feel you, but everybody has their own preferences. You want to get your Biggie Smalls on. You got to do what you got to do. But yeah, man, just don't be that guy. Don't get caught up in the young trap. A lot more. The thing is, though, I think you got to realize we were talking about the chick, already going through that experience at a young age. You're collegiate age, so whether you're a freshman, sophomore, whatever, however old you are. Trust me, by the time that these girls, and again, but I think there's a difference, because the chicks who are probably ending up in college, they may have been a little bit more focused on the books, but a lot of the chicks that you meet by the time they're your age are going to be well versed in intercourse and sex, because one is so much more readily available now, because it's so much more acceptable for women to watch porn, so that stigma's not there. There used to be a thing that was a stigma only on men that watch porn and all this other shit, but now women watch it just as much. They're out there searching for the BBC, so I think that you're going to find women that are going to be experienced, they're going to have had their own situations. And again, I don't think that the situation you're talking about with that one chick is going to be an anomaly. I think that there will be I think that you'll run into that, as long as you're being a gentleman of promiscuity, then you're going to run into some situations, and they will all be different, all be peculiar in their own right. So, I mean, I don't fault the chick, but I mean, at least she was open and honest. You said she told you, or you said a friend of hers told
you? What are you talking about?
About the chick having the abortion.
Oh, one of her friends. Okay. She's like I wouldn't say they're close friends, but they're mutual friends, quote unquote. Well, she just told me. I think she told me because she kind of knows what type of girl she is, and maybe she didn't see. I guess she didn't see me as the type of guy that would be around that kind of girl. She was kind of suspicious.
What if she's a hater? What if that chick who's telling you that is just really throwing salt in the game? Because people do this. Is that something that you've ever considered? What if she's just hating? What if she's envious?
Oh yeah, I told her, like,
is the one that who that you were interested in more attractive than the one who told you that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, consider that.
But
I
think I understand your point, but I asked her, like, why are you telling me this? Like, why do I need to know this? And she was just like, I'm just doing it because I just want you to be aware. I don't want you to get caught up in some situation that you're going to regret later on. So I guess she sees me as the type of guy that's more of a goody two shoes. And she's like, why is this guy with this, with this chick? And so I think it's more of like conscious guilt from her end. Like she did. I guess her point of view is, I don't want, this innocent guy to get his life, ruined by some chick that is wild and crazy. So
you can't handle the wild and crazy, man? I mean, is that what you're saying? I mean, you're going to let some chick determine what kind of chick you need to be with? Is the chick who's telling you that's not the chick you need to be with, is she offering her services for your personal gain?
I'm not sure what her personal gain is, but I mean, from her, from the way she told me and the way she talked, it seemed genuine. It seems like genuine concern. So it wasn't, I didn't see any manipulation or any sort of condescending attitude towards anyone. So I think it was more of a concern than an actual hatred towards that person. But I mean, especially since, now that I've talked to more chicks in my class, I can pretty much afford to lose one and gain two or three.
Well, why don't you not lose one and also still gain those two or three? So instead of two or three, you could have three or four. You know, because one is close to none. You got to be careful.
Well, I mean, because I don't know, like maybe my preference has changed, like especially at U of H. I'm starting to dig Asian chicks. Like they're the Asian chicks at U of H are diamonds in the rough, in my opinion. And so that's kind of, I mean, obviously the white girls will still be there, but let's be honest, it's not many white people or white hot chicks at U of H, or else I would have gone to A&M or UT.
Okay. I mean, like I say, everybody has their preference. You know, I have nothing to say, nothing to comment on any of that. Roscoe, what's the motherfucking deal? But yeah, I have no comment on any of that aspect of it. But I mean, if you're going for the Asian persuasion, again, like I say, no comment. I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do. So, I mean, I'm just curious about the whole situation. I find it odd that women, especially these days, you know, would throw salt in another woman's game, if you will. But again, they do it to hate. But again, that's what I'm trying to figure out. You know, is there any benefit, for you in your situation, or for her compared to your situation? And so I'm just wondering, man. I'm just wondering. So, again, if you say you feel like it's all genuine, then do what you do. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I mean, my thing is, like I say, because I wouldn't be looking for, if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't be looking for anything long term. So what the fuck she did in her past wouldn't be a big deal to me, because I'm not looking to make it anything permanent or anything, you know, other than that the most FWB situation. And outside of that, I'm just a friend. I don't give a fuck what you doing. And, you know, I'll fuck with you on the side, you know, if I call you on the late night type shit. But if not, fuck all that. And so, I mean, like I said, I think you're reading too much into it. But again, you're the man. You have your own standards. You have your own preferences. You do what you got to do. You know?
I'd like to respond to one of Jay Dizzle's comments.
All right, what you got there?
You know, I think the Asian chicks are evolutionizing now. You know, they're not the same stereotypical Asian chicks that you're used to seeing. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's like Pokemon. They're just transforming into these perfect mix between the American chick and then the Asian, like that cute face, but then that nice curvy body. Like, you don't understand, and then you think, oh, their mouth is too small. Like, trust me, you don't really know how it is in the streets of U of H. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, man. This nigga said the streets of U of H. I'm done. Pokemon in the streets of U of H. I appreciate the call there, man.
All right.
Oh, bro, let's talk about it. This nigga said, probably the first time I ever called him a nigga. This nigga, him like, I got my street cred up. I talk about in the streets of U of H, I got called a nigga too. This nigga said the Asian chicks are like Pokemon. They've gone through the evolution. And then the streets of U of H. When I went to U of H, it was more the streets of U of H than it wasn't the streets of U of H. Like, that man out there doing blunts. I'm trying trying to figure out where I'm trying to figure it all out, man. I'm trying to figure it all out. Like I'm really lost. Make your dick hard like why like you already know. That's what I'm talking about. Roscoe know what's happening. Belly was a great movie. Belly 2, whoever thought that was a good idea needs to be shot in the foot. I'm still halfway tripping off this Ed Man call, man. There's a few elements to it. It's talking about friends. Was that girl who gave him the advice a good friend? I don't know. Now, if she just said something like, oh, girl, she was a little out there, she might be, she might got dirty draws, in the sense of she could have something that could get you, that could get you infected, affected, dejected, dissected, but the fact that she just said, well, she had an abortion when she was young, and that's the deal breaker. Like, it still works, just because she had one at one time or a part. Like, my thing is, like, this is what I'm saying. Okay, like, went to a party. This is where I get lost in. Like I said, I don't know all of the inner workings of the female anatomy, and if any females are still here, they haven't abandoned us yet, and they are familiar with this, I would love a call, a comment, or something of the sort. But immediately the day after a party, went to a party, got all fucked up, got seminally injected, and then knew right away. I would think it would take a couple of days to realize, or maybe, knowing that you made a mistake, but started feeling sick immediately the day after. What's up, white persuasion? What's the motherfucking deal? Oh yeah, that sounds terrible. But it just seems like immediately after, and then going to the doctor and doing all that other stuff. Even if she did, she hustled it up all on her own. I don't know how she got it, but whatever. You gotta admire her tenacity, I guess. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like excuse me, it doesn't seem like that's something that she would respond to immediately, just knowing immediately the day after. Like, you probably knew you fucked up, or she probably knew maybe she fucked around and didn't use protection, but I don't know, just knowing she was pregnant immediately. I don't know. But again, chick may be being genuine, but chicks are good at being conniving, especially when it comes to other women. I don't know, Ed, man. I don't know about that one. But either way, fuck all that. Like, none of that matters. None of this matters. Like, here's what I don't understand, okay? Like, because when you first called in and mentioned her, you said that you knew that she was already a go liver. Your friend had told you she was a go liver. Like, she was with the shits. Cool. Fine. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like, lift my chair up a little bit. No. Take my keys off. Here's the deal with that. Okay? Here's the deal with that. I wouldn't have had enough time to know all this. I'd have been in smashed and been in, like, exactly. I'd have been in, man, look, to learn all this extra stuff. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
It's Edmund again.
All right, Edmund again. What would you like to drop in the den this evening, Edmund?
Just real quick, just wanted to make some clarifications.
Okay.
I never said that she went immediately after. Oh. It was the effects, like a few days went by. Oh. So it wasn't an immediate reaction. And secondly, the friend that told me about this, like I said, I never said that they were close friends, that they were more of mutual friends. I guess you can even call them like they had like an acquaintance in a sense. Like, oh, I knew her from somewhere, but we never really talked much. It was just a rumor that she heard. Well, not a rumor, but someone that she heard from. Someone told her about this, and so she knew about this already, and decided to tell me because she saw me walking with this chick a few times. Because we talk like after our class, and she sees us walking down the pathway. So that's all I wanted to clarify.
So my thing is with this conversation before I let you go there, Ed, man, is that you've already invested significant conversational time in this situation. How much time would you say that you've had speaking with this young lady, walking, talking, en route to class or the UC or whatever it is that you do? How much time would you say that you've spent, even on the phone, late nights after the den, or the real reason you've been missing the den is because you've been caked up on the phone with her? It's okay. We understand. But how much time would you say that you've been spending with this young lady overall, or you've invested in this young lady?
I don't know. I would say maybe 20 hours.
Oh my God. Oh, okay.
I mean, this is like almost 2 month span.
That's a lot of time. I mean, both. Man, that's even worse because here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the time frames, and if the idea in your mind was to smash, okay, and that's why I say I think you're looking at it differently. If you've known her for 2 months, and the goal is to smash, that should have happened quite some time ago.
Let me clarify. Okay. That was the initial goal, and then something changed. I started feeling those butterflies in my stomach.
Oh, goddamn. That was just bad food. That's what happened. They were just eating bad food before walking on with her. Okay, but carry on.
No, but something like, I don't know what it was, but those feelings, the intentions slowly changed, and it started getting less of of that sexual thought, and more of the what you call the lovebird connection. And so that's why I decided to cut off communication. It wasn't because I could have easily just had the sex and dipped, but that had changed probably 3 weeks into conversating with her, and I genuinely think that she felt the same way. But the thing was that her past kind of was a barrier between us having something long term.
So my thing is, you knew about the past already, and you knew that it was already a situation that you weren't necessarily too keen on. And now some little extra situation kind of changed that. So even with the past that she had, you were considering some type of long-term situation. Is that what you were saying?
Well, that was my thought process, but I guess things changed once I realized that maybe she hadn't changed. My thing was that I felt like she had changed, that the past in her high school years, and even her early freshman year in college, I thought that phase of her life was over, but I just kept constantly hearing that she was still doing these things, and that she was still messing around with other dudes. She would just say, "Oh no, those are just friends." I do that all the time, but at some point I I just said, man, I don't believe you. Like, with the history that you have, it's kind of hard to believe that you genuinely changed.
We don't believe you. You need more people.
And then also, I want to address White real quick. I did not get a girl pregnant, so that's a false claim. That's defamation. Let's not go to court. What else? I'm not a racist, homophobic either, so I don't want to go to Judge Judy to sue you. But again, no, I don't want you to get any defamation charges in court.
So, did your feelings change for this girl because she accepted you as an immigrant?
No, because I think she doesn't care who. I mean, I don't think that matters. Like, there's a bunch of dudes at UOH who have green cards that aren't even citizens. It's a school that's full of international students. Okay. So, like, who knows, like, who's here legally or not? It doesn't matter. Like, I just feel like.
So it's a 21 Savage situation. Doesn't even matter.
I mean, 21 Savage is all right. I mean, if he's not a citizen here, it doesn't matter because most of his fans will just petition for him to stay. I mean, for someone like, and anyways, I want to clear this up. I am legally here. Like, I got my citizenship. I'm a U.S. citizen, so I am not no illegal alien like Heidi says.
Okay. I mean, thank you for clarifying that. I mean, we were just wondering. Edman, your situation. I don't even know where to go with it. So you said you've already cut ties off with this young lady?
Yes, and she has tried to contact me, but I've blocked her.
And so you have not had any kind of physical interaction with this young lady?
No. I mean, I try to ignore her, but I may need to kind of reconcile with her, try to find a solution. And at the end of the day, you know, it's something that just has to, we both have to move on. That's the thing.
Okay. Well, man, I appreciate you calling in to clarify the details of the situation. I think the Den will have some things to speak on that, and but we'll try to figure it out for you.
And Lion Lunch, I don't want to eat you for lunch, man. So I don't want to get the lions extinct. So please, no shit talking. Let's have some respectful conversations. And, you know, I won't get my shotgun and kill all the lions, okay? So there's that. All right. That's a bet.
Oh, man. That's crazy. We got a lot to talk about here. We have a lot to discuss. We have a lot to talk about. And someone says that Heidi said she wouldn't mind dating someone with a micro penis. Is this a fact, Heidi? So I have no idea. So we got a couple of things to discuss because this conversation has gone way off the rails. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, I'm going to quote the words of a wise philosopher, and, maybe you guys are familiar, but if I can recall this right, this wise philosopher once asked a gentleman, about names. And he asked him, what is your name? And the gentleman went to answer him. And this wise philosopher said, it doesn't matter what your name is. Well, in this situation, it doesn't matter, okay? And it doesn't matter about the past. Now, where this situation became skewed is originally I think we were just thinking, you know, it was Ed Man just trying to smash, and he's investing a whole lot of time in this chick that has had a promiscuous history. And so we're just sitting here wondering, why isn't Ed Man smashing and moving on? Ed Man has caught feelings for the young lady, apparently. And so now we're having issues, in which she's trying to contact him. It's an odd situation, because honestly, me personally, and if I was in a different situation than I am now, and I was Ed Man and I was younger Honcho, these conversations, I'm gonna be honest, like 20 hours over the course of 2 months, and knowing that she's like, we're talking just depending on the setup, like you talking about that evening when your friend went to the restroom, she was talking all kind of greasy, grimy conversation with you. It probably would have happened that night. If not that night, within the next 48 hours. It would have been a fraction of the conversation. It would have been a fraction of the time wasted. And then had all that other stuff come out, well, as long as I haven't been regretting the decision in which I made. And again, like I say, everything is clean and everything is, you know, on the up and up. Who gives a fuck? Now, my thing is this. It's up to you to decide if you're going to entertain a woman with a sketchy history. That's for you, okay? The older you get, the sketchier it's going to get. There's fucking billion dudes out there. I'm sure there's more than that, but you got a lot of numbers for dudes are dwindling down. And you got some niggas who done stacked up some body counts. And so, you know, these women are going to have experiences. And so the thing about that is you got to make a decision, man. Like, either you want to smash and you want to be with the chick. If you like the chick for everything else that she was talking about, what she fucking did in the past is irrelevant. Like, because it's about you determining what you like. Even in here cloud and talk about she hoeing and all this other shit. Like, if it's a relationship that you want to entertain, we are irrelevant. My opinion is irrelevant. No, it's not. You should listen to me. But everybody else's opinion is irrelevant. But my thing about that is you have to decide what it is you are seeking. And if she feels and checks off those boxes, you know, sketchy history is a thing, but she had that even with all that sketchy history, it made her who she was when you're having the conversation that you're having now, then that is part of her character now. So if that's what you like about her, then fucking go be with the chick, Ed Man, goddamn. If she's still out there finagling, maybe you could entertain the cuckold lifestyle. It might be a thing you might be into. Who knows? I'm just fucking with you. Don't do that, Ed Man. Otherwise, we would never stop ragging on you in the den. But if she's still out there fucking around, then let that shit go. You be another body in the body count or whatever. Or, you know, get your weenie wet and, you know, move on. But if you seriously think that she's legit in every other facet, man, fuck what anybody else is talking about. Fuck what that other chick is talking about. The other chick, you know, I don't know if she's got a dude or whatever. She may be unhappy. Like, you got to understand the things that people will hate for, okay? Because obviously this chick who told you all this about the promiscuous chick feels like she has the moral high ground over the one you're talking to. But yet, again, I don't know if she's in a relationship. I don't know what her dating situation is. You already said the other one is more attractive, so that could be a level of envy. she could be mad that this girl, even though with all the shit she's done, still has men or admin entertaining her, you know, daily, walking her to class, doing all that other stuff, while she may think, well, I'm morally superior. You know, since I'm morally superior, I'm not fucking all these guys, or I haven't had an abortion. She might be fucking all these guys too. Doesn't matter. But she feels like, because I haven't done this and haven't done that, but no guy's walking me to class, she may feel about it like, I mean, she may feel a particular way about that. Again, you don't know what the other intentions are. She may not want to see that girl happy because she's envious. Women can be envious, especially when it comes to relationships and things like that. Women can be envious. And I'm not saying this was the situation at hand in this one. I don't know, because there's not enough details to know. But again, just something you got to think about. So, so again, you know, it is what it is, man. You have to make the decisions for yourself. I don't know what to tell you on that one, man. That's a peculiar situation to be in, and so I'd prefer not to be in your socks. So, I mean, you got to figure it out. You got to figure out. You know, if she made you happy, the conversation made you happy, but if the past is the issue, you got to figure it out. If you can deal with the past, because the past is the past, as long as ain't none of them niggas going to U of H. But then you may have niggas at U of H that you got to deal with. They're like, oh, you hit that, I hit that. I said, yeah, you know, there might be a situation that may be a little bit bothersome to you. So I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. I wish you the best in whatever outcome happens for you. So, yeah, my advice would be not to, if you believe that she's still out there finagling around and doing other stuff. Hey, friends with benefits, nothing wrong with that. You know, it is what it is. Again, yeah, do the assets outweigh the liabilities? There you go. So, but here is the deal. Yeah, here's the real. Here is the deal. She's no cleat chaser. Well, there you go. Heidi, you didn't answer the micro penis question that was sent in. Is this a true thing, or did I miss it? I have no idea. I might have missed the questioning there. Somebody had said something. You said something about a man with a mic. That's going to be a conversation. We have to get more women in the chat first. Once we get more women constantly in the den, that'll be a conversation to have, and hopefully we'll get some women who will call in. We'll talk about does size really matter, you know? So, because you know, you hear studies say one thing, women say the other thing. Women get along with their friends, they say a completely different thing. But we all know what the truth is. So there is that. Someone says to ask Josh what day and time he referees basketball games. So Josh, what day and time do you referee basketball games? You know, and I'm telling you, here's the thing though, because I think it's different strokes for different folks. I said that on purpose. If your wife got into an accident, couldn't have sex. What does that have to do? Okay, thank you. I just wanted a straight answer. I just want a straight answer. If it matters or not to you personally, you've gone AWOL and off the reservation. She's crossed the gun line, boss. And you know what happens when that happens. Different strokes for different folks. From 4 to 8 p.m. tomorrow. So there you go. We dating a chick for 10 years, found out she was thought back in the day would still be able to stay with her. In the words of Pimp C, we don't love these. But here's my thing. I'm going to be honest. And me personally, I don't give a shit. I really don't. You know, like my thing is, because I don't know, maybe like my thing is like I don't really give a fuck. I don't, because you know them niggas not doing what I'm doing, so I don't give a shit. Like as long as my time is not cross sectioning with You know, anybody else? And what I mean by that is if I'm dating this chick, as long as she ain't out there fucking up, making the worst decision of her life, I don't really give a fuck. Like, cause there's gonna be some shit you're never gonna know. And so I'm not gonna spend my time trying to figure it all out. Like, if I fuck with you for who you are at this point in time, I don't give a fuck what you was doing back then. Like, as long as it feels good to me, I think whatever nigga taught you some of them certain skills that I definitely didn't teach you. Hey, wherever that nigga is, I salute him. Shit, you know, my thing is, man, I'm not finna sit here worried about all that other bullshit. I can't tell you, U.S. social conference from dead for 4 years. All their wives are remarried, except the one they misread to. She yelled out, Man, here's the thing. Fucking military wives are a bad, what do we want to say, frame of reference. And I'm not saying all of them are, but a good chunk of them are not what you want to know. White persuasion, absolutely not. But my thing is, some of these women have some very large clitorises. So, this American Wild moved on and remarried in 2 weeks. Well, that's terrible. I fell over a chick that a thought background. You telling me you would still be with her? I don't give a shit. That shit, like, here's my deal. Now, it depends on one, I think the environment in which you're in. Like, if I'm not living in the same city with her background, that probably helps. So, like, especially if you fuck with small town hoes, you fuck with a bitch you in a small town, that's gonna cause a problem because you're gonna know all of this shit. But if I didn't fucking say I'm fucking overseas or something, or I'm a place where I don't know none of these motherfuckers, or somewhere else in the country where I don't know these motherfuckers, and you know, she didn't have a background, I don't fucking know. I don't give a shit, because the thing about it is, at this point, especially at my age, and if I'm entertaining something at my age, all of these women have done something off the wall. And whether it's one nigga for a long time or a bunch of niggas for whatever, what is the real difference? It's somebody besides me, because it could be a motherfucker could fuck with a bunch of niggas and be legit, as opposed to one dude for a long time, and not that she's doing anything, but he could be out and about running around doing this, that, and the third, getting all this kind of that and the third, and bringing it home and causing issues. So it's like, once it's used, it's used. And I'm not saying that it's all good. Here's my deal. I've done some bad things I wouldn't say bad things. I enjoyed them when I did them. I've done some things to women in my day. And some of those women, if you were to talk to them right now, you'd have no idea. You'd have no idea. And so my thing is, I know for a fact that it doesn't matter, because I'm not going to sit here and expect, like, some of these women not going to tell you the motherfucking truth. Not going to tell you the truth. I know, I know some of them aren't, because there have been chicks that I have been in situations with and known them known a dude that they would end up getting with, and been somewhat introduced, and been cool with the dude. And I know for a fact that she hadn't told him, as cool as she had been with me, about that shit, because there's no way a nigga would be cool with a nigga knowing the things that I had done. So it's no fucking way. No motherfucking way. And so all I'm saying is women are not out there telling the truth. There's been more than one occasion. It's been several situations. Women do things, men do things, everybody does things. So again, my thing is just that I'm confident enough that I'm not going to be worried about that shit. Like I don't fucking care. Like I really don't care about what happened in the past. All I care about is what's going on right now while I'm fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? Are you loyal to me? All that other shit was before you knew me, so you didn't have the game that I'm giving you. You didn't have the understanding in which I've instilled in you. So, you were living reckless before you met me. I'm going to teach you something new. I'm going to learn you. And your life will forever be better. You know what I'm saying? Before me. She's brushed her teeth since then, hopefully. And fucking used some mouthwash. So fuck it. Like I said, my thing is I don't give a shit. Because if I'm gonna sit here and say, well, what if she's done this and what if she's done that and what if she's done this and what if I'm not finna sit there and harp on that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care. Heidi's ate the groceries. But my deal is this. If the territory was undiscovered or unknown at one point in time, cool, fine, awesome. But once I've discovered the territory, it becomes my territory. I cannot worry about who walked across this land prior to me. If they didn't stake a claim, if they didn't leave a footprint, if they didn't, leave any kind of markings, I don't give a shit. Because once it's mine, it's mine. I don't care how long it's been. I don't care when. I don't care whatever. It's mine. I'm not very flexible, so gymnastics ain't the thing. I'm not worried about none of that shit. Virgin Mary cheated and then had to be like, well, how did this happen? Must be God. And Jesus was a magician whose big trick was right from the dead. I mean, I don't really care. Yeah, I'll find a picture of it in the house. I'm gonna say, what's the timestamp on this fucking picture? All right, was this prior to me? Okay, well, cool. I don't give a fuck. No, you was wilding out. Oh, so that's how you learn how to do that shit? Oh, okay, that shit, wow. I was like, trust me, I may be built a little bit different. Like I say, nobody stand up, that's why you stand alone. Shit not finna phase me. Like I said, as long as that shit is appropriately, again, along the timeline and it's appropriate, I can't give a fuck about what nobody did in their past. Because again, I know what I have. Boy, I'm not going to say pressure. I don't think I've pressured anybody into doing anything. But suggestion is a motherfucker. And willingness is a motherfucker. And so I'll leave it at that. And again, I'm not the only person on the planet with that ability. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I don't give a shit about no shit like that. Oh man. So, but here's the deal. God damn it, because there was a real here's the deal like 30 minutes ago. No, if you say so. You use your power of psychology to determine that. Because like I say, I have no issues. I'm going to sleep. I don't sleep that much, but when I do go to sleep, I sleep well. So, like I said, that shit don't mean shit to me. It's like it never has. Like I don't give a fuck. I really don't. Biology, psychology, gynecology, meteorology, theology, all that shit. Fuck all that shit. But no, seriously, like I said, I don't. It's like I'm not. There's no way. I don't see the logic in basically obsessing over anything that has happened prior to me. I wasn't in the picture. Don't mean shit to me. Now, if it was a situation where I was there, then I'd be like, man, hold up. There was a situation I had. I was where I was with a chick and I was working out of town. When I was a little bit younger. And dumb. And I was doing dumb shit. It was a dumb situation. And that situation, I can sit here and say, oh, okay, well, bitch, you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? That was more upsetting because I'm in the timeline. I'm in the time frame. But anything you did before me, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to sit here. So how many guys was it before me? I don't give a shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. What the fuck is it like here? Have you been loyal to me in the time in which I've been fucking with you? All right, cool. Have you been fucking around? No, you have? All right, fuck you and everything you stand for, your mama, your whole existence, all that other shit. But as far as, look, you loyal to me, man, I don't care about none of that shit. Like I don't have time to give a fuck. Like there's no way. No, we got a call coming in. Let's see. Uh-oh. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
It's Edmund.
Edmund. What's going on, Edmund?
All right, so we just wanted to get a closure on this whole conversation.
Okay.
So you're basically saying that I should just reconnect with her and see where it goes, or would it be too awkward to, like, what's the best solution in your opinion? And do you think that, I know you were talking about, like, you know, the past is the past, but is there a double standard between what a man does versus what a female does? Like, is it different when a male does something in his past versus what a female does in her past?
Honestly, Ed, man, the choice is yours. Okay, I can't tell you how to approach your situation. You have to decide what the fuck you want to do. Like, you've already kind of discarded her in a sense. And then if you try to flip the script and go back, then I think you start looking like you're playing some type of emotional game. You know what I'm saying? So I think that you kind of have to figure that one out. You have to figure out what's best for you. If you can't handle the pressure of, you said that she's done things on campus, so the pressure of possibly other guys on that campus being with someone that you've been with or things of that nature, then you know, I would recommend you not do it. You know, in addition to all the other things you got going on. Just Sarah Broderick, what's the motherfucking deal? Good to see y'all. So I would say, excuse me, good grief. I would say, you know, not to do it. I would say chill, and move on, maybe be buddies, whatever. But I got a question for you, actually, before we go further in this question. The chick that gave you this information, does she have a man?
To be honest, I'm not sure.
No, she doesn't.
I would say that she doesn't. Like, I've never seen her with.
No, she doesn't.
But who knows?
I knew she didn't before, but she told you that, because if so, she wouldn't be so concerned with what you had going on.
So are you saying that this chick has feelings for me? Like,
no, I don't know it, man. What I'm saying is that she sees a chick who she views as promiscuous, and again, like I say, that she has the moral high ground over, and the fact that some guy who she's familiar with is actually showing interest in her, and maybe for a long-term situation, and she feels like, well, why not me? Why don't I have somebody interested in me? I haven't done the things that this girl has done, or maybe she has, but maybe just not to the same extent, and maybe she feels like the other girl doesn't deserve it, or she don't deserve it. Like I say, there's a lot of factors that I think you have to look at in that situation. But ultimately, it's a decision for you to make. But I would say at this point, if you've already cut her off and been ignoring her and everything else, I'd basically leave it at that and stop playing the back and forth, because I'm going to be honest, Edmund, I don't think that you would be able to handle that kind of pressure. I mean, you'll be on the court playing in your basketball league. She'll be on the sideline cheering for you. It'll be a timeout. You'll hear some nigga in the other huddle talking about, oh, man, I just smashed that bitch a couple of months ago. And your shot going to be off. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to be able to drain your threes. They're going to be coming up short. Your crossover going to be just over. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just, I would say that you not do it. But again, the decision is ultimately yours. You have already invested some time in it. I don't know what to tell you, bro. But again, make the decision that's best for you. If you know it's going to be an issue with her background, her history, is going to be a problem for you, then don't do it. Don't play games with yourself. Don't play games with her. Don't waste the time. But that's really all I could tell you. So. And you had a secondary question. What was the kind of the follow-up question of that you had? I forgot what you had said after that.
Oh, I was asking, like, do you think there's a double standard between what a male's past is and what a female's past is? Do you think, like, society views a female differently if she was a thought back then versus what if a male was more of like a, just smashing and dipping every hole that he meets? Do you think that's something that is a problem, or is it just a norm with society?
I think that it is a double standard. Do I think it's unfair? Maybe not, because I look at it like this. If you want to have the title of the prize, the gift, the president, the queen, these things, then you have to carry yourself in a special way. Do I believe that women are special? Absolutely. This is something I wholeheartedly believe in. But when you don't carry yourself in that manner, and you choose to be promiscuous, you choose to do these other things, and you need to embrace that role. Like I told you, I like hoes. I have no problem with hoes. I love ladies. We talk about that. But my thing is, you can't, want the title of queen and then lay amongst the peasants. So I think that, you can't do those kind of things and, let all these peasants hit. You deal with other kings, you deal with royalty. You carry yourself in a royal manner, but most women don't do that, but they want that title. My deal with men is it's like this, there's a couple of ways you can put it. Okay. Women are considered a prize. Women are glorified, put on a pedestal. So the kid who has the most toys, the kid who has the most presents is envied. And that's the guy who has, I guess you would say, has bagged the most women. So society looks at him as something special. Other women won't even look at that guy as something special. If you let everybody say in your class when you're young, everybody plays with your toy, and it comes back a little bit broken, not quite the same way it was when you first took it out the wrapping. It's viewed a little bit differently. It's not seen as the same special gift. It's not seen as the same special prize. It's not the best analogy, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. So I think that, yeah, there is a double standard, but it kind of is what it is. So I think that you have to do. You say, take advice from a married woman. Anybody examine said, I bet woman that you give you. Oh yeah, that's absolutely right, just here. It's a lot of women get advice from other women that haven't maintained a relationship ever, have never been in a situation. So I definitely agree. But Edman, yes, there is a double standard, but it kind of is what it is. So there's that.
Yeah, I definitely gathered a lot of information from this whole conversation, and at the end of the day, I mean, I still have her number. Like, I can just easily, if I wanted to smash, like, that's not the issue. The issue is it worth having a relationship with someone that has a history? Like, because at the end of the day, when you get older, people are gonna start looking at who you're associating with, and especially when you're dealing with companies, when you're dealing with people at higher positions, you don't want to be around someone that has a history of hoeing around, that has leaked nudes in the internet, stuff like that. Like,
everybody
that's
has
not someone
news
that
on
you
the
want.
internet. I got news on the internet. I'm a superstar on the internet. So if the YouTube doesn't work out, I'm going straight to I don't know which one it is. Whoever's paying. No, no bullshit, but seriously, man, like, all that shit doesn't fucking matter. You see all these celebrities with fucking news on the internet, all this other shit, and it's not really hurting. And people that, like, the stigma on that shit has changed. You'll be surprised, and and I'm saying some things that I'm not going to say too much. You'll be surprised some of these upper echelon people that you say, that you value, some of these CEOs and some of these people. You'll be surprised what some of their significant others do, that they allow them to do and that they're familiar with. You'll be surprised what certain men in power are really like at home, and it's not what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? So again, all I'm telling you is you do what the fuck makes you happy, because there's a lot of motherfuckers up there that have a very different lifestyle than what they present to the company, to the people, and all that other stuff. Man, don't let what you think it is, be your standard for how you're attempting to live. Like, if a person has a problem with your significant other, your spouse, or whatever the fuck it is, then fuck them. But again, it's up to you to decide what the fuck you want out of life. If this motherfucker makes you happy, then go fucking be with him, regardless of all the other shit. If you can't handle all the other shit, then cut ties now, walk away. Another situation with that is, if you are considering it, you may need to have some type of physical interaction to see if, is that a thing? Because you may say, okay, I'm gonna try to be with this chick, and then y'all get it in, and then on your mind is you're worried about all the other motherfuckers that she been fucking with. Then you need some fucking Viagra just to get it working anytime y'all want to do something, because mentally you've already lost. And so again, I think there's a lot of things that you gotta fucking deal with. I think there's a lot of fucking things that you gotta fucking consider in this situation. So if you can't handle it, and you can't handle it, delete the fucking number, and just walk away. And again, I mean, that's really all it is to it, man. That's the route that I would go.
All right. I guess I can conclude by playing the song to sum everything up.
I'm not listening to this song. I'm not even going to tell y'all what was being played. Look, goddamn it, man, you ain't taking my newly obtained monetization. You already got me one time with that other shit you was playing. So here is my deal. I've never heard that song ever in my life. I just seen people quote that shit, and now I know it's horrible. So, but here's my thing. Never saw. But here's my thing. Again, everybody's not built the same. Okay, like. It's just, it is what it is. I would suggest that if it's an issue with you dealing with a woman's past, if it's a problem for you, hey, bro, I don't know what to tell you. You know, you have to figure out a way over that, because everyone at a certain point, especially when you mean, you're not going to be pulling too many V cards. You know, if you might get lucky, hey, you know, do your thing. But at this point, she learned it from somewhere. Salute to whoever did it, and keep on trucking, man. So, you know, it is what it is. Hey, look, you better call in shortly. Now, that man off the line. I ended this call with his bust down Thadiana or whatever that shit is. All of women are claiming to be virgins all of a sudden. I don't believe any of those things. I don't believe. Once you over the age of like 16, it's pretty tough. I mean, I remember motherfuckers were wilding out in junior high, and I'm talking about like the motherfuckers you didn't even think were doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was wilding out. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
What's up, Honcho? This D-Love.
D-Love, what's the motherfucking deal, D-Love? What would you like to drop in the den tonight?
All right, so yeah, I do got something I want to drop regarding the, you know, what we were just talking about. But before I do that, I'm gonna just go ahead and address this friend thing.
Okay.
So what about your friends? Would they stand their ground? You know, would they be around, or would they turn their back on you? Nah, no, you get it though. TLC, RP left off. Yeah, so, you know, about the friends, I mean, I don't know, it's just like, I have issues dealing with companionship, or, you know, maintaining that close bond, especially with, you know, friends in general. So, like, back in high school, you know, if I would, dance some dudes, I'd, you know, do something chop. What happened?
No, I'm still here. I was adjusting the microphone.
Okay, it's good. Now, it's not like, if I was, start, you know, chopping it up with some dude, you know, it'll go, like, back in high school, it'll go on. But sometimes then it'll stop. It's just like, I don't know, I find it a little difficult to maintain a close friendship, but I guess it's just me and how I'm like set up. I'm more of like the introverted type, so, you know, and I have met those people who were only like mess with me for like benefits. You know, if only somebody else, you know, make it up, or, you know, whatever, then they start messing with them. But I mean, it is what it is. So as far as females and stuff, well, you know, a lot of people in the chat was talking about, you know, Bo's man lawyer or whatnot. So this is like yesterday, right? I saw a video on, it was like a 40-minute video, and it was about a woman with a tumor. Yeah, okay, so the video was posted probably like years ago. I don't know that. So like, was I just streaming? Was I just like searching for like videos about a woman with tumor? No. This is just another question of, you know, why did this video end up in my recommendations? But it did, and I clicked on it. So like I say, a woman with a tumor, she was a model growing up. You know, and I think they were from Nigeria, but, you know, when she got married, they moved to South Africa. And, no, you know what? I think they went to South Africa to do the surgery, but that's later. You know, what I'm saying is the backstory is basically the dude who ended up being her husband. He said he met somebody else's wedding, and he saw her dancing on the phone. He said, you know, she has to be my wife. And, okay, so fast forward, they get married. You know, they didn't even tell us how he approached her, but fast forward, they get married, they have a daughter, right? So then she started getting like severe headaches and stuff like that. and I don't know if she like brushed it off for some time, but then when she saw that a tumor had grown and it got worse, it got to the point where it ate up the frontal lobe, the center of the brain,
Yeah.
and then it goes on the side of her face, and it got her eyes on the very her eyes are like separate, one eye on a very like on the cheek and stuff like it got bad. And I'm not trying to be funny or anything because I did learn something from this video. So they go to the doctor, she gets the surgery and stuff like that, and it got to the point where they had to like take off her face and kind of reconstruct it using other parts of her body, and it was like it was very like she was in critical condition, so that just hoping and praying that she'd be able to survive because the doctors they weren't sure. I'm not sure if some of y'all know about this already, but it is what it is. So the reason I'm telling you this story before I even finish it is because the husband, during the interview, he admitted that he had some of his male friends, they were questioning him. They was giving him that side eye, like, why are you still with this chick? And stuff like that. But the thing is, like, he talked about how much she really loved. Now, she was a woman of faith, and she had a strong family, a strong foundation. Mm-hmm. So she would always tell the people, because despite the tumor, she was still able to talk and stuff like that. So she would tell the camera, she had I have a daughter and I have a family, and I'm not gonna let this thing beat me. So fast forward, the surgery took like $25, I think, and they took the scan, put it over her, from her rib, put it over her face to try to cover that hole. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, it failed. It failed to like connect the artery and stuff like that to keep the blood going. So it started to decay right over the face. So they had to put it back in the surgery. Take scans from like forearm, and this is just it. If this one didn't work, then she would die. So they were just hoping and praying that it was like a Hail Mary type thing, and it ended up working. She ended up surviving and stuff like that. And now her face didn't look normal like it did at first. It was still like messed up by the tumor. Mm-hmm. But the husband, the family, like, he stuck with her through thick and thin. It's kind of what I'm trying to get at. I don't want to, I don't want to kind of ruin it, but like a year later, she ended up passing away, and that sucked. But I say that to say that for him to just like stick to her by her side, like stick by her side regardless. And I've been left to comment on a video saying like that's what a marriage should look like. A marriage is not always fairy tales. It's not like a high school relationship. You don't break it off or go, looking for another woman, behind her back just when things get hard. Now, maybe that's a little stretch. That's a little exaggerated because not a lot of marriages experience tumors and stuff like that. But this might sound cliche, but that's kind of the marriage I want, minus the tumor. All right, don't get me wrong, minus the tumor. You know what I mean? But like I say, I want to say that this is like a foreign thing. This is something that you don't normally find in America, but I don't want to do that because he did come out and say some of his fans were giving him that side eye, like, you still with this chick. So I'm just going to say that this is an individual thing, but this is kind of, this is what I think a marriage on a basic scale look like. This is the part where I say, this is my call and hang up, but you always kind of have like a following question, so I'm just wait.
No, I don't have nothing to add to that one, man. I was just kind of listening to what you were saying on that one. But I appreciate the call there.
Oh, that's fine. No problem. All
right. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah, I appreciate the love. All right. Just Sarah. We missed you. Hadn't seen you in a few days. I'm gonna be honest, man. Situation's super tough, man. Super tough. And I think, like I said, that's part of the reason why I've changed a lot. I talk about, most. And let's be realistic. I was a dog. I was a dog. I was a fucking a real dog. And it took, some old dramatic shit. Just unfortunate shit happened to a good person for me to even realize and come to these changes. And so when I think about that, and so there's some other details to the story in my situation that I don't generally go into, because if I did, it's going to bring back certain emotions, and it's not sadness. It's hatred, anger, and some other things. And so it's just parts of the story that I just got to keep to myself. Parts of the story I generally tend to keep suppressed because, I often say I don't hate anybody. Okay. But that's a lie. There's 2 people on this planet that I do hate. And I'm going to leave it at that. So, with that, no, I definitely appreciate the love. I definitely appreciate the love, and again, like I appreciate the support. I appreciate y'all coming through and fucking with the den, period, point blank, and the donations are a bonus, so I appreciate it. And I think I agree with you, Lion Lush, because that's something I definitely work on. Because when those feelings arise, that's something I definitely have to work on. And like I say, generally for the most part, y'all see me here, and those of you who've been fucking with me for quite some time. I think I present a particular image. I don't think that I'm even from here, from the other channel, sports channel and stuff like. I don't think I've ever really seen me get angry. I don't think I've ever really seen me get really even just too upset about too much of anything. And that's the funny thing, and it's a reason why I try to avoid that. That's why I say it's gotten much better to the point where there's not a lot of things that I just let get under my skin. But I think that there is a different aspect to that is once I get to that point, it's not very easy to come back from. You know what I'm saying? It's not very easy to come back from. And was that Eckhart Tolle? In Power Now? I want to say, is that Eckhart Tolle? I'm trying to think. And so I try to avoid it because somebody's going to get hurt. And it's not a good way to be. That's not the life that I want to live. That's if I want better in life. That's not the way to be. And so that's why so many things that a lot of people get enraged by and I really had to do a lot of soul searching and just realize, is this something that is worthwhile, for me getting upset over, and again, like I compare things comparatively over this journey we call life. And so that's why a lot of shit I kind of sweep under the rug, man. Like it doesn't have enough impact to alter my emotional state of being. And I think that's kind of where I am now, so because I think when I get angry, I don't like being out of control. I don't like having a lack of control over myself. That's why I don't really drink too much, because once you get to a certain point, once you cross that threshold, you don't have control over yourself. That's why I've always been much more of, I'd rather smoke weed than if I smoke, and I'm not doing that right now. If I do anything, you know what I'm saying? Or, I just don't like being out of control. And I think that there's certain times when certain emotions, again, anger, like it just, when it's like a pent up thing, and it might not be good. It actually might be a bad thing. The fact that I keep certain shit so suppressed, and it could be just the wrong person, the wrong situation at the wrong time. And I mean, it is what it is. So, it is what it is. Yeah, but that's a whole different conversation. Man, I was ripping cigs and sipping whiskey. No, not that. Actually, I think I do a pretty good job of not being angry. No, I don't. I mean, like it's very few things that are going to get me angry at this point in my life, and so. But I think I do need some. Excuse me. Constructive methods of release, and so that's definitely something to work on. That's definitely something to improve upon. But listen to that story and what D Love was talking about, and I definitely put myself in that guy's shoes. Because after that, like I said, I told you, I was a dog. I was not a good boyfriend. I probably shouldn't have been anybody's boyfriend. And I was still super immature, still just, man, doing all kind of bullshit. But for somebody to have stuck with me through all that bullshit, and still believed in me through all that bullshit, still wanted to see me succeed through all the bullshit and the hurt that I caused, and then to see them go through that and basically be powerless, you know what I mean? And be powerless in that situation. It's like, I felt fucked up. That's something that got to me for quite some time. And then, like I say, there's other factors that went into it. But like I say, that shit, like after that for a while, I was just, took a vow of celibacy, for a while. And the fucked up thing about it is, I said they never got emotions throughout the documentary. That's crazy. The fucked up thing about it is, when you're celibate or you're practicing celibate, you're not fucking around and doing all that shit, that's when women want you the most. Like, because like I say, during that time, or even after that time, like I said, I was just kind of cooling, man. It wasn't nothing major, and it'd be friendly conversations, and women would definitely do things. And then once it kind of, especially in the little circle that I was in at the time, once motherfuckers found out that, what it was, it seemed like motherfuckers throwing pussy left and right. And it's just like, God damn, y'all motherfuckers cold blooded. Like, this shit ain't finna make me feel any better. I don't want that shit, I just, I'm just trying to figure myself out, make the right decision, do the right things. But I think it taught me some discipline. I think it helped me figure a few things out with my own life and get me in a better direction. Still ain't perfect though, but I'm a much better person now than I was several years ago. And right now the goal is just to continue on the journey and to try to develop into being the best that I can be. And I think that's why, I've been so much more committed to this situation, to this relationship, embracing a lot of things, a lot of things. So, and just trying to leave something better than myself behind, you know, at least a better version of myself. I don't really know. But, you know, it is what it is. I appreciate the call there, D-Love. Like I say, that's intense, man. And that's what you want, man. If you're going to be committed to somebody, I talk a lot of shit, you know, and I tell Ed, man, you know, fuck around. I tell y'all, you know, if you're young, fuck around. If you haven't made a commitment, I think it's different when you made a commitment to somebody and then when you haven't. And this is a little bit hypocritical, I guess, because like I said, before in my prior situations, you know, now I'm fucking around. I mean, like I say, now, you know, that I have understanding, I have knowledge, I have, now that I have understanding that I've been through all these experiences in my life, I know better, and I know how much better I feel doing the right thing as opposed to when I was doing the wrong thing. 'Cause, man, look, I would be fucking around, get nothing from it, feel like shit afterwards, and then still go do it just to know that you can do it. It wasn't like, you know, fucking with them hoes was making me feel any better. It wasn't no real reason to be fucking with them. It was just doing something. You know what I'm saying? And so that shit is if you're not committed to somebody, go out, have fun, do what the fuck you want to do, you know, enjoy yourself. But when you decide to make that commitment, man, you got to give everything you got. Because I think a lot of people get into commitments or get into situations and it's not what they really want to be in. And so they're still like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And those situations don't work because they're not really giving their all to that situation because they're still thinking like, oh, well, what's still out there and available for me? You know, there's always going to be something out there available for you. There's always going to be something that might be better than the situation you're currently in. That's always a possibility. Or temporarily better. Could be. But what are you going to have to go through to get that? What are you going to lose in risk of trying to go and get that? And is it worth it? You know, I think once you make a commitment, once you know, say, hey, this is what it is, you commit to that and you got to do what you got to do, man. So, yeah, that's things I've heard. Because my thing about me, man, is I am, well, prior to now, I would always say, man, I'm a great friend. I'm a terrible boyfriend. I used to say that all the time. And, you know, I chop it up with all kind of people about certain things. Or now, I'm more talkative now than I was then, but with chicks I was fucking with, I talk about shit, you know, depending on what the situation was. And that's why I say, like, again, I talk a lot of my shit, but there's a lot of dudes that have contributed to a lot of bullshit with females. But at the same time, there's a lot of them who have not had those issues, and they are still just as cuckoo, if not more thrown off. I almost think the ones who had, you know, some type of issue almost seem more sane than the other ones. And it sounds crazy, but, you know, everybody has their problems to deal with. But it is what it is. There's no point in dating if you're going to cheat. I would say there's no point in committing if you're going to cheat. I think, you know, you date, you meet people, you figure out what's what for you. I think when you're in a dating phase, if you're in a dating phase, I think you're open. You know, as long as you haven't made a commitment, I think you should feel free to date if you're dating 2 or 3 people. But I think you need to be honest and say, hey, you know, I'm dating you. We're going out on dates. We're kicking it and hanging out. But at the same time, I'm also, you know, entertaining someone else. And when I say, you know, entertaining someone else, you know, you be honest. If you fucking with somebody and you like, hey, you know what? Well, I'm fucking with somebody. But, you know, I think you cool. You know, it is what it is. Like, honesty will get you a long ways. And if a person don't want to hear what you're saying, you know, hey, it is what it is. And I know a lot of niggas think, well, you can't tell no bitch. Man, you know how many hoes that are out there that are happily side chicks, that are happily, you know, fucking with married men. It's a gang of them. Some of them make a living off of that. You know what I'm saying? You know, some of them are entertaining that happily, sitting there waiting and thinking that some man is going to leave his wife to be with them. And if that's where you're happy in that situation, you know, fine and dandy. But that's not an issue. And we already know men don't give a shit. There's this thing like, and again, maybe I don't think I was ever really just that dude. I fucked with chicks that had boyfriends, but I was never a nigga that was just trying to, man, if bitch got a boyfriend, I'm trying to, you know, fuck you. I never would hate on a nigga. Like, that's not my thing. Is I'm fucking with you. I don't give a fuck about that dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not speaking on it. I'm not. You'd have a lot of dudes, you know. Well, you know, they got to bring up a man in the situation. You know, yeah, you may be fucking that dude, chick or something, okay. But you asking all these questions about the man and all this is like, if I don't know that nigga, most of the time I didn't. I didn't. Like, I'm not asking any questions. Like, I don't care. I'm not here to be dealing with that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to be fucking with you. And so that's why I say I don't have that same level of it's like playing Russian. Just say she's lonely and flattering you. Well, hey, that's like the thing is, if they're not happy, they need to make a better decision because there's a lot of them out there. You know, there's shit. There's motherfuckers with church talking about happy side chicks and they putting themselves out there like that. So again, I'm just going by what they say. I can only go by what someone says. Now I know what I think about the situation, but again, you know, I feel like when it comes to me and my deal, there is no competition. That's why I say I don't care about past shit. If a chick is fucking with me, I'm finna teach her a whole new way about herself. If she fucking with me and we on that level, she'll be better for leaving me. Or if we don't last, she'll be better whenever we, you know, split than she was when I met. That's why at this point, you know, every chick I've ever fucked with that I can recall or have some type of contact with still. That sounds terrible. That sounds really bad. But we still cool. There's a lot of chicks that I've smashed, a lot of chicks that I fuck with. They got dudes now, they got kids, they got families, they got all kind of shit. But we still cool. It ain't like there's never been, I can't think, and again, maybe I blocked it out of my mind, maybe whatever, but I can't think of a chick that I have stopped fucking with or whatever the thing may be that is because, you know, we just were no longer amicable. I'm lying. I'm lying. But the reason that this is the den, that's funny because whenever you write the den, you know, it highlights it. So when you write the denial, that's funny. You say no one all American. But my thing is this. Like I say, you know, they're, again, maybe they putting on an act for me, but it's not like I really reach out to them like that. For the most part, like I say, now if we even re-engaged in conversation or we still cool every now and then, you know, every few months, I mean, you know, hey, what's up, whatever, but like literally what's up, and not like what's up, but like what's up. My thing is ultimately, like I say, I mean, amicable, casual conversation, you know, how your kids doing, all that other shit. There's no kind of sexual talk or anything, you know, like I'm not gonna entertain that shit. Now there are references, innuendo occasionally gets made, not on my behalf, Like I say, y'all not finna catch me with no. Y'all not finna catch me with no thirsty in the DMs. Y'all not finna catch me with no Honcho hit me with the Me Too. Y'all not finna catch me with that type of shit. That's just not my. That's not my bag. That's not the way I rock. You know, look, that's just not for me. That ain't going out like that. But again, situations where you would think there would be some type of hatred. Only one situation I could think of, and that's probably because it didn't go the way someone planned it to go. It's not necessarily because I was, fraudulent or fictitious in my ways. They just wanted something that I didn't want. But I was completely honest about the shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, sometimes honesty for some people ain't the best policy. So I think it is what it is. Let's see what y'all talking about up here. Don't tell Heidi she right. Heidi ain't right about nothing. So you're a horrible homeboy. Let's see what y'all talking about. Let's see. Was dating to me is like I say not having conversation, but it could be anything that you do when you were normally dating. But I think dating is not a specific to one person. If you're out actively looking for someone to be with, so I think that you could be dating multiple people, so you could be going out on dates, but you could be dating and still fucking somebody. But I think once you make a commitment, hey, I'm just fucking with you, I just want to be with you, I think then that's when you that's what you got to do. You say you screened all your hopes. My boy fucking a chick and he constantly hanging around, dude, like it's nothing. Keep telling him karma's a bitch. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's you definitely don't want to do that. Let's see. Well, Mexican can't stand me, hate the fact they still want me to. Let's see. I need to get high and I will never be stressed. Well, hey, you'll be stressed when you run out of drugs, when your high comes down. Man, look, that's what I say. That's my thing is I think that I wouldn't say I ruined anybody's life. It may not have been the life that they wanted to have with me in the long term, but it is what it is. We live atop a house of lies. All you need is 1 hour sleep and you good. We work at 10 hours of sleep. Oh yeah, man, 10 hours. Oh, you Gucci, man. Look, that's too much sleep. You can get that oversleep. Dating but not mating. Take time knowing. I used to fuck on the dumpster, but we cool now. My girl now. She used to get fucked on the dumpster by another guy, and I'm okay with that. As long as it wasn't the same dumpster, okay? Hey, this is my dumpster. You go around to that other side of the building, you use the other fucking dumpster. And as long as you don't invade my dumpster space, we all good. I found this dumpster first, goddammit. So there's that. Again, like I say, certain things that's gonna affect certain people, not gonna fucking sway me. So I would let them off the rib. You'll never be number one. They thought, and that's definitely the truth. You have people women who think they can change your mind, and you can be upfront with them. It's like, man, this is not what I'm looking for. This is not what I'm after. Okay. And then try to do some other shit. They go above and beyond the call of duty. And then when it still doesn't work, then they mad. They mad at you for being honest, for telling them, for giving them a heads up and saying this is not gonna shake, this is not gonna happen, and they are highly upset. Well, the dumpster is the best place. all kind of nifty toys and things you can add to the scene in the dumpster. Just got to be careful. Pro-choice or pro-life. I'm gonna be honest. I think because we've had this discussion before, and I was kind of nuanced. And do I believe that there are situations where it could be possible? But I think that it came down to such technicalities that I may have leaned more pro-life. But I think that when you're talking about health and certain things that could be real factors. I mean, real health fact, not mental health like this bullshit they trying to push with that third trimester, well, newly born, while you decide if you want to keep the baby after you had it, baby, killing shit that they're on now, that I'm not with. But I mean, if it's a situation where the mother's life is truly in danger, I think rape is a situation, but rape is such a sketchy thing these days. And I'm not saying that everybody's raping is lying, but I think it's tough. And then when you start saying, well, you can pick and choose which cases, no, then eventually you're basically saying your choice, and so it's a tough situation. Again, I have personal beliefs, personal nuances, but I think that do you didn't want to have a football team? So yeah, it's definitely a situation. It's definitely a situation. Yeah, our dumpster. I think I'm gonna get a signature dumpster customized for Valentine's Day. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh my God. Oh man. I remember one time hitting the what are we now? Or what would you do if you like, man, I don't even want to get into some of these questions that women will ask. And that's why you sit there and wonder, like, well, what would you do if you saw your old lady, if she saw us out and about? What does it fucking matter? Like, it's not going to happen, or what are we now? The same thing we started off being. What's another one? Man, I told y'all about the one I thought was the worst. She had asked me would I want to have a baby if something happened. Would I be happy about it? Or something like, hell no, I don't have no fucking baby. And it's like, well, it's not just because of you, because at that point I ain't want no fucking kids. And then, the chick that I had been with all that time in my life, or even though some of it was off and on, but it always been with, basically. If it wasn't going to be with her, fuck sure as fuck ain't finna be with you. Shit hurt her fucking feelings, but it's the fucking truth. Like, you want me to lie to you? Yeah. It didn't get you all baby fevered and excited thinking you finna, fuck no, So, it's crazy stuff. Football mom. Then dumpster matters. Yes, I agree. But yeah, man, it's some raws out there. They really cuckoo, and that's why I say the emotions do get it overwhelms the logic sometimes, quite often. But can't live with them, can't live without them. The ladies, but again, man, like I say, my deal is this. Excuse me. And I've said, here's the deal. Like, y'all have, I'm only doing this because I deprived y'all of the den for so many days. This is my validation. I found a way to validate my excuse. Good deal. Good job, Honcho. But the thing is, again, can't be concerned with the frivolous shit. Can't be concerned with the matters that are irrelevant. And again, like I said, I've had just too much experience not to be worried about that type of shit. And I think even with me doing too much of my own shenanigans, like, very good job, Honcho. Yes, all the time. Yes. No, actually, I'm more critical of myself in that manner than I am approving of my actions. So I just said that right now just because. But usually I'm more like, ah, damn, Honcho, you fucking up. Stop doing that shit. You know, so I say, fuck all that stuff. Very good job by Heidi tonight. No, I would say so. It's an average job by Heidi. I don't think this is one of Heidi's best evenings. I've seen better performances from the Kleindienst, if you will. But seriously. MVP of the stream. MVP is a regular season award, Heidi. What are you going to do in the playoffs when it counts? All right, y'all already know what that means. This is definitely time for me to start winding down. But here's the deal. Honestly, man, I appreciate y'all. And I thank y'all, man, for everybody just been fucking with it. And, that was a low blow there, Heidi. It was a low blow, and you know it. Pride hurt. That was the that was the most hurtful thing that I've heard all of it. None of the rest of the stuff you said mattered. That was hurtful. All the rest of that stuff is just dirt off the shoulder. That hurt, Heidi. I thought we were better than that. We're definitely a 7 seed right now. But nah, I missed a few games these last couple of days, so we gotta get back in the playoff contention. We didn't make any trades at the deadline, so we didn't bolster the roster. But my thing is this, man. Oh, the Mavs. Oh, let's not be the Mavs. You said definitely Chat MVP contender. Yeah, my vote's going for Browser. I'm taking my vote from Heidi. I was gonna hit it with the social media vote, but I'm not doing it now. But again, man, I want to say thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody who called in. Ed, man, figure out that situation. She might just really be jocking you for your basketball skills. So, she knows that you're an up and coming basketball star, and so she's trying to take you out. Say men can be tricksters. But even when you're not tricking, even when you're honest, well, men can trick. They can trick off though. But even when you're honest with women sometimes, I don't say sometimes, I think I've generally been pretty honest with women for the majority of my life, to my own detriment sometimes. But again, I think it just puts you in... Women have delusional memories sometimes, because I've had situations with women. Again, I said it was a wrap, but I'm still talking about it. After this comment, I'm done. And I never talked about the $10 couch. God damn it! Remind me tomorrow. I'll talk about the $10 couch, because that was a whole story I was supposed to speak about. Then somebody called and I never talked about it. But the thing with women is that there's been situations with women that I've had, and it may have been one thing, but then, when you run into these women sometime later or whatever, in their account, it was something completely different. You know what I'm saying? Something completely different than what really took place. And to them, it was all love and roses and, all this other stuff. And to me, it was like, I know for a fact it wasn't that. I had to because I was fucking with such and such and such and such. And, she knew that, but she says that it was this. And, you know, and, you know, I had to, you know, go make sure my memories were accurate. So, and it's happened on more than one occasion. So again, like I say, I think that it can be very interesting. But with that being said, I appreciate you all for joining me in this den this evening. Almost 4 hours. So I guess we're talking den. I don't know. I forgot what the den record is. When it was the Kush den, I think we went 4 hours. But with this being the den, this might be one of the longer dens. So I don't know. But with that being said, I appreciate all of you very much. Vote for Broderick for MVP, not Heidi. All votes for Heidi will be dismissed. But with that being said, hey, I appreciate y'all. We'll be in the den tomorrow. Same den time, same den channel. Tell a friend about the den and get them in. But I'm out. And I got to go home. Y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. It's time to go. Adios. Still here? Get on. Get gone. Scram. Poof. Alakazam. Get out of here. I'm out.